Oh shit. towns where you could go where a man could hang his hat.
Well, they got microbrews and mega stores, but we ain't down with that.
Well, there's a place I know right up the road where the beers are always cold,
Where a beat-up truck and a fishing pole are worth their weight in gold.
Going downtown Radioville, where you can kick back or have you the craziest thrills. You probably won't learn much, but maybe you will. We're going down Radioville.
Now let's check in on the boys and see what they got themselves into this week.
Oh. I say still funny, the intro.
I love it.
It started to wear off on me a little bit, but we've also seen it 500 times.
Yeah.
For the first couple hundred, I was laughing every single time.
Yeah.
Let's hear it in the chat, everybody. Intro still funny or no?
What's up, folks?
How you guys doing? A cloud of locusts has descended.
Yeah.
This is the precursor to next year, which is isn't it next year?
Is that already?
With the 17-year
Holy
cicada roonies.
shit.
We had an incident the other night at my sister's house. We're sitting outside on the porch. I just really don't want those things on me. You know what I mean? And there's
Sure.
a full-size one already fucking flickering around all over the place. Almost hitting you all the time, almost landing on you. And I'm like trying to punch it and just being
Yeah.
an idiot. You know what I mean? And
that happens.
so we're out there for a long time, and things had kind of settled down. We go inside. We're talking to a friend of ours on speakerphone. Katie goes to the bathroom, and I look to my left, and it's sitting on my fucking shoulder. And I know that, okay, I know it's not a big deal. It's not going to hurt me, but it's a reflex.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
just go like, and hit it off my shoulder, and now it's just loose in the house, fucking flying around like a lunatic.
Jesus
The cat
Christ.
gets involved. The cat catches it in the corner. You know, nature takes its course,
Yes.
and we all live to talk about it another day. You know?
There is a weird, I mean, you have a pretty extreme reaction to bugs. That's for sure.
Well, I almost died from a bug one time.
Which I didn't say it wasn't merited. I was just saying. But there is, I mean, I don't know. I don't think anyone, if caught by surprise, you know what I'm saying, is just like, oh, cool. It's just,
No, they're out
there's something
there.
about fucking bugs that is like genetically, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, you're
just we're-
programmed. Well,
yeah,
some
we're
of 'em-
wired to like not fucking.
Yeah, some of them were dangerous.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
one time I was like 19. I was sitting at my dad had like an old farmhouse in the downtown of our town, and it was full of spiders and centipedes and all kinds of shit. And if you went in this basement bathroom, I mean, you were taking your life into your hands. It was like,
Yeah.
but I just remember this one time I was taking a shit.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
You do that?
And I looked up in the corner, and there was a spider, and it did like the perfect like spider leg thing. You know what I mean? Where it
I like that.
goes like, and it filled me with like
A primal
deep,
fear.
dark shiver. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
could
it's a
feel
primal
it
fear.
from my ancestors. You're right. Yeah,
That's what I mean.
was
It's like, yeah, there is something there. And, you know, snakes, we might have talked about this before, but there's like a.
you feel it in your stomach. You're
yeah,
like,
there's a
"Ugh."
thing. Like, there's a reason that. You ever see like cats that are scared by cucumbers or whatever? You ever remember
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things?
yeah, that's
There's a
hilarious.
reason for that.
Yeah.
Is because they're deadly for millennia.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Cucumbers.
Cucumbers.
Yeah.
That's why I don't eat them.
We all know the great war a millennia ago. The cats fought against the cucumbers.
Cats versus cukes.
The cats obviously
And they
won. The cucumbers can't do anything.
I mean, we don't have
you know?
cats in salads anymore.
You noticed that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's mostly just, cukes.
That's the kind of scoops you're going to get from us tonight. And honestly, it's not going to get much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the next year, I don't even know what to do when the actual cicadas happen. I don't think
Is
I
it
could do
17 years since the last fucking time?
I was 22 last time, I think. Yeah. And
God damn it. Can somebody slow this down?
because I was like 5 the first
Not
time.
the cicada thing. I'm just saying. Fucking time, dude.
Now the first time I was 5. And
yeah, the first time. So
for any
I'm
of
how
our-
much
for
older
any-
than you?
Huh?
How much older am I? 7 years?
I never know.
Something
you're
like that.
plus-
So you were 5, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I must have been 12 or 13.
But you're some kind of vampire too, so I never am sure. Like, but yeah, whatever you say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was like 5 the first time, And for our international audience who doesn't know, in this area, every 17 years, we have a plague of locusts. It's fucking nuts. It really is when you think about it.
No,
Like,
it is. I don't.
So I remember the last time when I was like 22, walking around drinking with a friend of mine, and you just give up on not having them on you or not, because like you're walking,
They're literally
you're walking
everywhere.
down the sidewalk, and at first
They're
you're like
crunchy.
trying not to step
Yeah,
on them,
no.
and then you're just like, dude,
Yeah, eventually we were just on our bikes because I think I was 12 or 13. I remember being down here. It was we were still living in Wisconsin. So it was, might have just been just before we had moved back down here. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because their carapace is all over the fucking trees, just abandoned because they turn into some other fucking vile.
Oh, they're shells.
Yeah, they're little,
yeah.
And
They're all over.
They're everywhere, and they're just like.
So when I was
yeah.
like 5, the first time I was going to start to say, my reaction was way different. I thought it was the
Right, like,
best.
"Oh!"
yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
And I was like collecting
I thought it was cool
the shells, and
when I was
like
12, so.
me and Stizzy were hitting them with baseball bats.
I had
you know
tennis
what I mean? And
rackets
like,
going on a bike. We'd ride down the fucking street on bikes and see who could fucking smack 'em out of
chasing
it.
girls with them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have
I mean,
them
I
by
did that
one
when I
wing,
was,
and they're
man.
like, but they're giant. Yeah,
If ever I was.
right. Using the term loosely, but no. 5 was great. 22, manageable. 39, I'm like, I don't think I want any part
I'm
of
done
this.
with
Yeah.
it. Now
like-
your boy Brian here says he was 22 and eating cicadas drunk. Now I had a similar
yeah,
story, and I think
Bri-
I told you about that. I went back after bar to this chick that was a stripper at the time's house, and she had a few other lovely ladies of the night, and we were like, I didn't know them. My buddy knew them, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is gonna be fun. You know what I mean? Like that. I said,
Sure.
And
It was the 90s.
It was
Or no, it was whatever,
it was
too-
the
close
2000s,
enough, yeah.
It was the aughts,
Right.
and
Everybody was still talking like Martin.
I mean, what's up? What's up?
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah.
You go outside and see cicadas, like, damn that.
Damn that, Gina. I said. And but yeah, and then we were all out on this patio smoking. It was a small patio, so we were all kind of near each other. And then a cicada just flew by, and I, in one sweep, just hit it onto this thing and picked it up and started eating it.
Yeah.
I was just hammered, and I was with my buddy Chuck, who always try and one up each other by stabbing each other with things, or you know what I mean, all this type of shit.
Sure.
And yeah, so I ate that, and then immediately saw the reaction on all the ladies' faces. And
It just wasn't a
it
good
wasn't what
move,
guys
like,
would have.
yeah, it's not what they
They were
want.
not. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
not like, oh, nice. They were like, what the? Who's this fucking guy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I did. This makes me want to puke even thinking about it to this day. But I did something similar with some waitresses that were at my work, and I went to like clean. You know, when all the food in the sink, the dish sink is
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh,
caught in the
I think you've
drain
told this
bottom.
story.
Did I?
Yeah.
They were like, I was gonna scoop it out and just throw it in the garbage, and they were all like, "Ew, that's disgusting." And I just like popped some of it into my mouth. No, I wasn't gonna swallow it, but I just did it for the shock. I was immediately regretted it, and I regret it to this day. It's embarrassing. I shouldn't tell it in public, but I know the fucking split second you're just like, oh, this will fucking probably impress somebody.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I would have been impressed.
So now
I would have now.
The last cicada event, Brian was eating them. Brian Stasinski in the chat. Of course, I've known him since the first cicada event.
Yeah.
And we've experienced each cicada event together.
You guys are cicada brothers.
In a way, yes. And he's helped me come out of my shell. I know that. But
Damn that, Gina.
so he was eating a lot of bugs back then. And he never had the bug fear, really. He would, when we were little kids, actually, he would just like grab those stag beetles and be playing with them and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I do not have the aversion to insects.
Yeah, I
that
never
you
wanted
do.
to handle things like that. But anyways, yeah, I saw him eat 4 really weird red worms.
Ooh.
Say that 10 times fast. So I saw him eat 4 like weird. We were all like, here's back in this era. Here's where we would just lay like on the side of the railroad tracks drinking.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and be eventually everyone. That's you. Nobody's
Life was
got
good.
anywhere to be. You're just. It was great. It was the
It's so
best,
good.
really. Right.
You could just sleep there if you
Dude,
wanted. Nobody
somebody
gave a fuck
finds
where you were.
Yeah, no. Somebody
Oh.
finds a funny rock. You're like, "Ugh." You know, it's a great day, dude. And so I remember finding these 4 like little red worm centipede things, and Brian, somebody, we probably gave him like $5 or whatever, and
They were probably red worms.
He just ate them and said that they tasted like
Yeah.
acid. We're
Yeah.
like, well, I don't know if that's right, if you should be doing this. But he would do all kinds of shit like that. One time we killed a bee and then put it in a pipe and smoked it. We were just having a good time. It was
Yes.
weird, like it was a different time. And then we could deal with the cicadas, but not now.
Yeah. Now
Not
JT
now.
says he hates spider snakes. Mm-hmm.
Those are bad.
Those are not good. And some other people are talking about spiders with briefcases, and that's good.
Oh, that's an old gag we used to talk about. That was a thing, whatever, way back in those days also, yeah. We had a thing about just telling strangers a story about a guy with a briefcase full of spiders, but the spiders were also carrying briefcases, and inside those briefcases are more spiders with briefcases. And you would just do it as much times as somebody would listen to you and just be hysterical because you're an idiot. Anyways, more bug talk. Let's go. No, so yeah, no, I don't know what to do next year. I might have to leave. Because it's only, if you ever look at a map of where the cicadas go,
It's just
it's
here.
like these thin little strips of area.
Also,
and
wait
like,
a minute. I've never, I've tried to look into this, and then my attention span is just not there for it.
It's nothing anyone would ever want to hear
Because I
about.
don't care that much. But what I do need to know is, where are they for 17 years? What are they doing?
I know, because when I was
17 years as a larva? What the fuck are you doing,
when
man?
I was a kid,
Hurry up.
I pictured this. I pictured that they were like 250 feet underground.
Yeah.
And just slowly.
Yeah. It takes them that long to get out.
Right. That's what I pictured as a kid. And I'm just now thinking, I never really thought about it much.
But do
and
they live as like a different larval state? Because when they come out here, like I said, they fucking exist for a little bit, and then they leave their disgusting little carapace on a fucking log and crawl out of their old body into it and become something else. So is it?
It is a
before
crazy
that,
thing because they're so loud and it's like,
dude, the volume on these things.
we can already hear them, and so like I think a few are sneaking out early, or what's
Yeah,
going on.
I don't know. There's some
They're not
real
usually
go-getters.
like any of them around.
These ones, I think, are the Illuminati ones that come back. Like they're out every year, making sure everything's fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not going according to plan. For
It's like the PR
well-being of the rest of the cicadas.
They're like the PR team, but they're terrible at it. They're like, let's go fucking fly around their
let's
heads
go
and fucking make a
scream.
bunch of noise. Yeah, let's just fucking see what's going on.
Because that's all they do is scream.
That's it. But it is kind of a weirdly poetic thing that they are like 17 years just underground, and then they have this one moment where they're just like, "Whoa!" and that's the whole thing. It's operatic, It's like
It's
tragic
horrible.
and beautiful in a way, don't you think?
Look, it would be. But here's another thing. Okay, evolution or God.
Don't believe in it.
Whatever.
In either of those.
Yes.
I have something else.
Yeah.
But go on.
But like, make the noise beautiful. If we're gonna have to endure it for months on end,
Yeah.
just screaming your ass off, make it like a fucking, like a songbird, or you know what I'm saying?
Like a siren.
Yeah, because it doesn't have all they're doing is trying to get fucked. That's all that is.
I
They're
know.
all just trying to get laid.
And they're
That's what
not
they are.
sexy at all.
No,
That's the problem.
We
Like-
can come back to this.
Yeah.
What animals are sexy?
Well, we know for sure cicadas aren't.
Yeah,
Can you
no,
imagine,
they're
like,
not.
even to other cicadas, it can't be. Like, you're
Like what makes a hot cicada?
And that's-
Cooler blue spots on its fucking eyeballs.
You're disgusting.
Yeah, you
it's
look
like,
ugh.
you don't think Danny DeVito wants to fuck Danny DeVito, right? Like,
Exactly.
even he doesn't think,
No.
So it's like,
Look, if Danny DeVito didn't have money, he would be homeless.
he'd be dead.
He'd be dead, yeah.
He's not dead, is he?
I hope
can never
not.
remember who's dead. Oh, yeah. So yeah, then I couldn't sleep because I'm worried about the cicadas.
Yeah.
So by the way, guys, I'm on like 3 hours of sleep. I haven't had anything to fucking eat. Feeling real crazy and stupid. So we'll see what happens here. But so then I get like 3 hours of sleep because you get to the point where you're worried that you haven't fallen asleep yet, and that's no fucking good.
That's the recipe for insomnia.
Especially if you just historically have zero control of your own behavior and thoughts.
Yes,
And,
yes, yes.
So, you get to the point where it's like, okay, I can still get 6.5 hours. Nah,
Nope.
it's 5.5. And then once you round 5, you're just fucking
like,
pissed.
Because
You're
now,
like,
you're thinking like, well, this isn't even going to be good anyway. So I have to get this. I have to get what I can get right now.
I have to. And then, dude,
then it's 4.
I
And
didn't
then
fall
you're
asleep
like-
till after 6, and I had to get up at like 9:30. You know,
Yeah.
so I didn't fall asleep till after 6 because I'm just sitting there mad that I can't sleep. It's very idiotic. It's really just
real
something I should have conquered by now. But I don't know what was going on. I had no alcohol, no fucking drugs, nothing. But I had that thing going on of like when you're trying to fall asleep from coke and you sort of like think, oh, okay, wait, it's gone.
Yeah,
You
but
can-
no.
And then you're like back awake somehow.
Yeah,
Like, why
I hate
is this
it.
happening, dude?
It's like a pulse that goes through your fucking brain.
Yeah, it is.
I know exactly the feeling.
I'm like, I gotta go walk around for a minute. I guess,
Anyone
whatever.
who's tried to sleep after doing too much coke knows that feeling.
Sure, yeah. It's like a sting, like a shock.
It's just you're like, oh fuck,
But so
I was so close. You think?
then today I'm at work and I find out one of our old friends died. We haven't talked to him in a really long time, but he was like a good family friend at one point. John Brown, I've told you about him.
Yes, you have.
He was like this big adventurous character guy. We had a bunch of those kind of, but he would stay with us from time to time and shit. But haven't seen him for years. And he kind of like hated us now.
Why
I
is
think
that?
or something. I don't know. He was somebody that I think tried to get sober and like better himself,
Sure.
and felt like he had to
Distance himself.
distance himself
I
from
know
a
the
lot of
feeling.
people, like the circle that he had here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
then I was just thinking about it since the past few years since we've been back. How many, like when I got back from New Orleans a few years back and we hadn't hung out for a few years.
yeah.
Started hanging out again, and between the two of us, like how many people? It's just getting older. It's so
gone.
fucking bizarre,
Yeah.
dude. It's just blink, 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 blink. Like
Oh,
for
yeah.
me, it's literally been like 10 people have died since I've been
Yeah,
back here.
I would like to seem like very compassionate and know that number for myself, but
Yeah.
I don't.
No, you've had a bunch too. And
yeah,
it's
no,
just
there's a
like
bunch.
this is just how it is now.
Yeah, I've said that though. It started for me at like 20, and it was just like I had a string of years of just like friends in my group, friends in my like extended group, just like hanging themselves, shooting themselves, fucking ODing, shooting themselves. It was just like over and over, like 1 a year, then 2 a year, then it was just like, and then eventually I was just like, okay, I guess just everyone's just gonna die. You know what I mean? I was just like, I don't know, and it's weird though because it sort of forced me to start like re-examining my thoughts on death and my thoughts, you know what I mean? Because you're like, well, I guess this is going to happen to me.
Right.
It's going to happen to everyone I love. It's just like, this is a thing. So yeah, I mean, I sort of used it as eventually, but at first you're just pissed all the time.
This one was kind of like, okay, so I don't even really know how I felt. I was kind of hoping I would get to talk to him again one day. But it was more just like, you're just annoyed in a way.
Yeah.
You're just like, God, like, and then like you get to a certain age and so much of the previous generation is gone at a certain point that you're like, this entire social thing we had is
it's like,
just
I view it like this. Like you ever seen like a moth-eaten old blanket? That's what it starts to
That's
seem
what
like in my
life is
mind.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like everything everything was once new and like bright, and and then eventually it starts to get a little faded, and then pieces start missing. You know what I mean? And then it's just like it starts getting tattered a bit here and there, and then eventually you look at the blanket, you're like, Jesus Christ, this thing's fucked, man.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I can't.
There
What can I do? Patch it?
I know, there
What
aren't
do I-
patches for that.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
like,
and I don't like it.
yeah.
Somebody make life patches.
Yeah, person patches. You know what? Retractions.
Yeah, yeah.
I retract
Yeah, we need to do a few retractions.
the
maybe.
death of my parents.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
would be cool.
retract
If
it.
you could do that. Just like formal, like I have to just file papers at the city hall.
And it's really
Just be
fucking
like-
annoying. And
Yeah.
even though it's your parents, halfway through you're like, oh, dude.
No, but
I
it
don't know
wouldn't
if I
really
can keep
be
doing
them.
this.
It would be
Oh.
fucking clones or something. It would be creepy.
yeah.
You would
Pod
notice
people.
like they would seem like them at
Yeah.
first, and then
But then you would catch them just like walking into a wall several times when you're not around. It's like, ding.
yeah.
ding, and you're like,
Or you test them on
Hey,
some
Mom.
crucial
And they're like,
detail from like a vacation or something years ago, and
it's
you
just
know,
like AI just makes a bunch of bullshit up that sounds convincing, but you're
Right.
like, no, that's not it, is it?
and then you have the whole moral quandary, like, do I kill them now? Like,
well, if that's the case, if I could just keep making people that I know, I would kill a lot of them.
yeah, if I could kill you and then just
And I
have
know
it-
it's not actually
it's like,
me
okay, that's
or
out of
you.
my system now.
Yeah, it
I'll
would be
just-
gruesome. My life would get real gruesome
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
Yeah. Oh, you would. Yeah. I mean, you would have killed me.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times. Like, yeah, probably
For no reason.
I know. Yeah, just because we had too much to drink. You know.
There was a chainsaw nearby.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you know.
And that would have been it. Anyways, it's just fucking freaky. I don't know. And you always heard old people talk about this when you were young.
I know, and you're like,
And
shut
they're
up.
like, yeah, dude, shut up.
up.
I'm fucking. I don't care. Yeah, like I'm trying to, live life here. You
Yeah,
idiot.
quit bringing me down.
Yeah.
Like a wet blanket.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh,
It's
my
like,
blanket's.
oh, dude, my blanket is all mothy and wet.
Yeah. Cicadas in there. Fucking
Yeah.
This carapace is holding on to it. And you're like,
Right.
fuck, I gotta shake it out. 'cause
That's
it's
what
filthy.
it's like. It's like then you for the rest of like for the rest of your life, do you go to bed with this mothy cicada filled blanket? Just fucking. That's
Mine's-
probably why I can't sleep.
No, I'll guarantee mine and probably yours. It's got some semen on it.
Well, where else are you supposed to?
Yeah.
I mean,
Where else are you gonna?
I said the cicadas
Look,
weren't sexy.
I
I
was
didn't
gonna
say
say, I didn't say they were
unfuckable.
unfuckable. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Where are you going when you pull out of the cicada?
Right.
On the moth blanket.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
That
This is
old
just-
that I have an embroidered thing in my house that says that, and next to my Eat, Pray, Love, like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll sell you guys that pattern if you want.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's a PDF.
So what's up? Gina Stott says I was invaded a couple years ago. So many. Oh, they're talking about red eyes versus black eyes. These are all just traits of the cicadas. Now somebody said, you guys, there are cicadas every year. It's just that one brood that's every 17 years. Yeah, that's my point. Where are they at for
But
17
you don't
years?
usually see them a lot of the times.
I mean, there's
I'm
always
seeing
some.
Definitely more this year.
Well, you see the amount of trees I have around my fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
I would call this like I've thought of this before while I was on shrooms.
Yeah.
Here, I'm like if I was like a Native American or like some sort of a primitive, you know what I mean? I'd be like this would be called like the Screaming Woods.
Why did you say if you were
Oh,
a
yeah, I
Native
am a
American
Native.
or some sort of primitive what? Because I've seen some pretty primitive behavior out of you. Like it's hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking, if my genealogy did line up with some bloodlines of natives.
We were hypothetically speaking, if we were doing a talk show and I was lying about who I am, what would I say?
Yeah, no, but I'm just like, this is where like the Whispering Woods, or you know what I mean, like oh, that's where the screaming trees are. Like this area would just be known. They'd come up and be like, that's fucking the trees
This is
scream all night.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the Valley
That's-
of the Screaming Trees.
Yeah, exactly. I've thought that. Now I was on mushrooms and
Yeah. One time we were on mushrooms here and we went back behind Tom's shed and there's a hammock like behind a shed and then there's just like a bunch of junk laying around and stuff.
There it
and he
is.
told me, you know what? This is actually like a big part of the reason I bought this house. It's like this little 10-foot area behind the shed.
with nothing.
But that's the great thing about tripping is you really meant it. You're
Yeah.
like, this is where I go, man. It's like, this is fucking my spot, dude. Like,
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
yeah, it was really funny.
All right, so what did you want to take a look at? How's everyone doing? I've mounted my soup, Critchlow says.
Oh,
Okay.
good. No, that's all right.
Wait, you know what? I'm going to retract that.
Yeah, I retract.
I'd like to retract
Critchlow's comment.
Critchlow's comment, and I'd like to retract my repeating of his comment. Mm-hmm. Two retractions.
The whole thing's stricken from the record.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
got to be stricken.
Yeah, we want to talk about trans people, right?
Well, you had sent me something.
No,
and-
you started this. it was something you sent me about a
Oh,
tweet.
look at that. What the fuck is this?
What's happening?
I don't know.
Is that what's going out to the airwaves?
Oh, yeah, no, this is, that was just
okay.
a different article. That's fine.
It is going out.
Oh, hey, goody.
There you go.
There we go. Get that out of here.
This is cool though. Yeah. All right.
I don't know why these are all on.
And the phone number's on.
Hey, look at that.
How did this happen?
I have no clue.
that's fine. So
it is all good. Yeah. So you sent me this article that.
No, this was the last thing that happened. This was all his idea. I promise you guys.
But yeah, I don't know who this woman is.
Yeah, you do. We made fun of this fella
Natalie
before.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Now you've talked about this lady before.
Famous for being a man, this
Yes.
lady.
Exactly.
And playing disc golf. And a lot of people find it to be very controversial. And won distance competitions and has like, I think, a pretty crazy win percentage and stuff. And a lot of people are like, this is just not
Like,
fair.
hey, you're stronger than us.
Kind of like what happened in every sport so far.
Yeah,
We
it's
know
a
the
tale as
thing.
old as 3 years ago.
Right, yeah. So, she's back in the back in the news. How the Disc Golf Pro Tour tried to bar a trans woman from competing and why they sort of reversed course. Anyways, the point is, this person is suing the, DGPT or whatever the fuck I think.
Yeah,
Did I say that right? Because they were not letting him compete in the ladies' tournaments at a certain level. Actually, if Steve, we have the phone lines open. Steve could probably explain this better than me, and he did this for us last time if he's listening. But
yeah.
So they weren't letting her, she's suing them, and apparently, they kind of wore them out in court or whatever, and so now they folded and let.
Well, now this is an
Him.
article that you sent me from Pride Source.
Huh?
Pride Source. That's the article you sent.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I didn't even really want to get too deep into this because we got a bunch of shit, but
sure.
This was just something to have on the screen.
Yeah, so
So the lawsuit was filed. If you scroll down, there's this thing that we could also mention. Keep going. Keep going right there. Ultimately, Ryan rallied, just talking about the back and forth of it, whatever. Oh, look, I'll be honest, Ryan said. I cried myself to sleep a few nights. I thought I was kind of going to walk away from the game entirely.
Now, I'll tell you this.
Very lost at that moment, huh?
Sounds like a lady to me.
Yeah, well, we watched the videos before. It's just a guy in shorts. And it doesn't even
really is.
it's
just
kind of crazy.
Yeah,
It's not that I'm the arbiter of the
I don't
spectrum of femininity, but yeah.
But I think it's not a dick.
Yeah, that's got to be part of it. I feel like, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Again, that's people's personal shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
And again, like. If this person was in a bar, I'd call her Natalie. I'd say her.
Yeah,
I don't give a
whatever.
shit.
I've had
It doesn't
people like
matter.
that in my life.
Of course,
Yeah,
I have
I mean-
too. But when you're trying to compete against people, then it gets a little different. So that's again rehashing arguments from the last 2 years.
Yeah. So the whole thing with this is. She sued them under this thing, so I can't see that shit. Sorry. Oh yeah, I forgot. I do the phones now.
Yeah,
that's right. Hey, I was like, this will be fucking run smoother. Hello, you're on with Tom and Vinny.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
You guys talking about that old Natalie Ryan?
Yeah,
we sure are.
Yeah, how's the disc golf community reacting to this? This is former pro disc golfer Steve Ryan, who is a good pal of mine and good friends with my sister.
Yes.
Yeah. So she kind of got banned for the beginning of this season from competing in like the elite events, like basically like where the most money is, like fiercest competition, all that stuff. She wasn't doing particularly well competing against some of the best in the world. She definitely crushes like all the local ladies tournaments where people throw a fit, and everybody kind of had the attitude, or lots of people had the attitude, probably a majority of the people had the attitude that she shouldn't be able to compete, of course. But what happened this year was that she sued them in states where there was the likelihood that she could win. So like states that have protection against people that are transgender or whatever.
Yes.
And
I would assume California.
Sort of won in Cal. Yeah, one in California, and she, I think she sued in maybe Minnesota or Michigan or something like that. And at that point, she was getting pro bono lawyers because,
Yeah, it's a spectacle.
I don't know, I guess transgenders are want to be litigious or something like that. But so the pro tour
Transgenders
had
be
to pay
suing. Sorry,
what's that?
nothing. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, the pro tour had to pay for it, so they're just going to go broke trying to fight a legal battle that, like, eventually, in some capacity, they were going to lose.
Yeah, and also I would assume that disc golf leagues don't. It's not like they're bringing in, FIFA money or NBA money or something. You know what I mean? It's not like they have an inexhaustible amount of.
Not at all.
That's what I mean.
They are. I mean, it has grown exponentially in the last 20 years. But LL Bean just sponsored the World Championship. So,
Damn.
So I mean, it's a big. They're getting some bigger sponsors and stuff, but it's not like Rolex and Cadillac money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's not UFC. Like UFC made this fucking spike. Like it just. You know what I mean? Like in the last 20 years, the UFC has become like from a underground, like you didn't want to admit that you were doing it and partaking in it, to like this massive, you know what I'm saying, filling arenas every single weekend and shit. So it hasn't, So, but they're getting, I see, So they're, but again, so they just don't have the funds to just keep.
Can't fight the legal battle.
And
at a certain point, it's probably bad PR. Mm-hmm. Like in general, inclusivity is a very corporate thing.
Oh yeah, it's mandatory at this point.
So it's just bizarre. Natalie has competed quite a bit. Like after they changed that rule, has been to some of the bigger pro events. Not doing particularly well. But
good luck to her.
I mean, I would imagine that if everybody hates you,
Steve. That's the thing. Do you think? So from what I've picked up on, it seems like 95% of the disc golf community is not down with this. Not
at all.
Like people are open about it.
Far
like,
more support. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry. But like any comment section that they actually have the comments enabled on this subject, it's like
ubiquitous.
It's like 1,500 comments of just like, get this fucking guy out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck this dude. Like it's like the whole
100%.
thing. Like
which
100%
brings up other
bringing
questions.
the religious South, and then all of a sudden it's a religion thing too, not just a.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Which is annoys me.
Right.
But that kind of brings up a thing though, whereas like if you are somebody with, and I know people don't like to hear that this is some sort of a mental illness, but if you have some sort of a dysphoria going on and you really, feel this way, it must suck to be like, like I just want, but also just identify as a woman, but play in the men's league. I just don't understand that. Like I get it. Like, be self-aware to the point where you're like, I get it. I have an advantage. I have to compete with the people that I was born like, genetically and hormonally. So that's what
It's so weird that this became a thing that all of society attempted to bend itself around.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Remember Dennis Rodman? Dennis Rodman would walk around in dresses and drag and shit like that.
Everybody thought it was funny.
Yeah, and then he would play at an elite level with dudes. And he was like, fucking I'm the worm, dude. I'll fuck you up in the paint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you can do that, do it. But that's the thing that's I think why people are so annoyed by it. It's like, but you can't if you can't do that, so you're like, well, I'm going to go compete with people that I can probably beat. That's where it gets dicey. That's where people are like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? So, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, historically there have been dudes that dressed up as chicks.
Yeah.
And, for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's not a new thing.
No.
It's
and it's
now
not
they're
even
trying to
but being
capitalize on it.
Well, I think newer is like the understanding of the idea of being like transgender, though, because there's always been people doing weird stuff, but like the solidification of the culture around it and the whatever,
the movement. There's a movement around. Yeah, so I think that's
like the ideology too.
That's what I mean.
Of like, no, you're fully female, because like I don't think a lot of people believed that before a few years ago.
I don't think
You
that
know?
people
Like,
believe that now. I think they have to say they believe that. I think most people do not believe that you can just
It's
say.
unpopular.
Yeah,
to
even in
not
circles that
acknowledge that that's their thing, right?
Yes. And again, I don't know. I mean, if you that's what you want to do. I've known people that have been this way for a fucking long time. There was a regular at my sister's bar up in Wisconsin that was named Lauren, and his real name was like Ryan, I want to say. And lived as a woman, had breast implant, and honestly, there was a lot of dudes that would secretly get, it was like the It's Always Sunny thing with the tranny and shit. And there was dudes
and
that would end
everybody was
up going
banging him,
back,
like-
like go back with it, get fucking head from, whatever.
oh, sure, up there, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like everyone knew, everyone was cool to her and said her, and it was not.
Yep.
And that's a small fucking town
I
in
know.
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
not
mean?
that uncommon, I don't think.
No, and
Yeah.
that's the thing is like this was not a thing that people really were rallying against in the numbers that they picked a fight. You know what I'm saying? By doing stuff like this, by being like, no, I am a lady and I'm a pure lady and I'm going to compete with ladies and I'm going to crush ladies.
And
it's
by
like,
doing
well,
that, they picked a fight with, you know who?
the disc golf community.
No, the Radioville Bird of
Oh
Liberty.
my God.
China.
Nope.
Yeah, they picked a fight with the wrong bird. The Radioville Bird of Liberty. Fuck yeah. But I guess
Yeah.
the Bird of Liberty would probably want people to be able to do whatever they want. So
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Bird of Liberty. See, liberty is complicated
it's
these days.
very slippery.
I like when it's how many times have you seen the "Come and Take It" bumper sticker with the thin blue line?
Yeah, it's like, that's who's coming.
I don't know if you know what this is. Like, if you know what liberty means,
Yes.
but we do.
Yeah, we do. You know who does? This guy. All right, man. Well, thank you for clearing things up, giving us the perspective from actual person in the know.
Yeah,
'Cause we are not.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts that we're missing here?
No, I think that's it. That's all I got. Like whatever. It's a whole bizarre thing. I don't know why on earth somebody would feel
All right, thanks for your call, Steve.
sue everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
You've been Bird of Liberty. You're on Radioville.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Sorry. Bye. Thank you.
So, yeah. So that's a whole fucking thing going on with Natalie Ryan.
Yeah.
Now, you had also sent me a thing.
So yeah, that's the things in the news. That's the type of things in the news.
Yeah, this is what comes across our desk.
We don't know what to make of it sometimes, and neither does old Carlos Santana.
Yeah, here's the thing: is we're getting some boomers out there that are just not prepared.
Yeah,
like
it's-
us,
right?
Now we're not even boomers, but we're not prepared for any of this. So
actually, the boomer liberals are like the worst ones of all.
yeah, they
almost.
really are because they don't understand what the fuck's going on. They just know the side that
They're
they're
like
supposed
pretending
to be on.
more than anyone.
Yeah, and they're just like they don't even know. Like you can, I watch these things where they're like confronted with a few facts, and they just shut down. They just start yelling.
Well, they're like a very spoiled, brattish
Yeah,
generation
yeah.
in general, anyways. And yeah, they're not good at, for the most part, having like an intelligent discourse when you disagree.
No.
You know, there's a lot of passive aggression. Like almost every one of them that I ever knew.
Oh yeah,
is just very like
they're snide.
Yeah,
They get,
yeah.
They're very
But they all grew
arrogant
almost as if
about
they
it.
all grew up well off because it was like the 10 years that this place was awesome. And that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, so Carlos Santana in some hot seal milk. And this is a little the Young Turks piece on that. Let's take a look.
Okay.
When God made you and me, before we came out of the womb, you know who you are and what you are.
Okay, so that's it. It's a pretty basic take, you know. Some people think that.
Yes,
Right?
many
And I don't
people.
have a problem with somebody having a different opinion
I don't
than
care.
me. Who would be all caught up in some kind of stress over that? Who would obsess over it enough to produce a television piece about it because let's see what they have to say, because hopefully they don't make some kind of wildly hypocritical point.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? And I wouldn't expect that from anyone on the Young Turks.
Yeah, I know.
Ever.
God, they have just descended further into madness every year that goes by. It's insane, dude.
It is insane.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at this fucking
Talk
guy.
about like the epitome of an echo chamber. It's fucking nuts in there.
It's insane.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at this fool.
That was just the intro to music legend Carlos Santana going on an anti-trans rant during his July concert in Atlantic
audio?
City.
I was just going to say that the
Like-
first thing. Hey, dude, you're on the Young Turks.
Yeah, dude.
Get your audio dialed in.
That's a real microphone.
Yeah.
Well, what are you guys doing? Something.
I would say it's a real studio. He's probably in his bathroom with a green screen or something. But just judging by the
they gave
using
him
the same arm
Here's what
that
happened.
we have.
Here's what happened. Yeah, he's somewhere else. They gave him equipment.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, "Here," and he doesn't have no idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
And none of them do.
And he
just gave-
YouTubed it, and he was like, I guess this is dialed in. This
Right.
is fine. But it's like, it's so hot and trebly and fucking tinny.
He just has like it way over compressed or something.
Yeah.
And he doesn't realize it.
But
okay.
but his okay, so this is how he comes into that. Let's just take a look.
Intro to music legend Carlos Santana going on an anti-trans rant during his July concert in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He has since apologized for his remark, but we'll let you be the judge of whether his apology was sincere. But first, here's more of the video.
Okay. Also, I like the idea that we must judge whether he's sincere, and that's how we should spend our time today. What? Well,
Also,
the way they think is so fucking odd, isn't it?
he
Like-
introduced this as an anti-trans rant. That paints a picture in my mind.
yeah, that is. I
not
see. I'm so used to this now.
That's
it
what
just
I mean.
Goes through me, and I'm just like, I didn't even hear that. Like,
yes.
yeah.
And that is a specific type of diatribe that I would imagine is going to go on here when he says.
Well, basically, all he says is, "Look, you're made how you are.
Yeah.
Deal
Well, let's take
deal
a
with
look.
it." You know.
When God made you and me, before we came out of the womb, you know who you are and what you are. Later on, when you grow up and you see things, and you start believing that you could be something that it sounds good, but you know it ain't right.
It is a weird speech to be
Because
giving. I don't really know why you're doing this.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like he even meant to do this.
yeah, it's like he just started the thought and didn't know where to go from
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like,
He had the thought and he's
what's
like,
in the,
oh,
what's in
shit.
the news?
Yeah.
Let me think here.
Yeah.
I'll just make a giant proclamation about trans people. That always goes well. That's what I need in my golden years.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm 80 or whatever the
Right.
fuck I am.
Something that
It sounds cool.
it sounds good,
Yeah.
but you know it ain't right.
Uh-oh.
So this is what.
Because a woman is a woman and a man is a man.
Now this is what I found funny.
I do kind
This
of
is what I
like that
found funny.
because that was done with. Sorry, that was
Oh, no.
done with the energy of a guy who's like, you know what?
Yeah, like,
I
what are we
can't
talking about?
Fucking do this anymore.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
totally.
That's all.
Yeah, that's just we all
Leave me
know.
alone.
Knock it off.
He's been wanting to say this
Yeah.
for 20 years.
Go to your
Like,
room.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
go
just-
to your room, think about what you did.
Yeah.
But I like this part because then it pans to the audience and like half of them are like, yeah, and then the other half are like, what?
What? Oh no.
What's he saying?
Yeah, that's a confused response. I like that. That's good. Anytime you have that, that's
Yeah.
very good. Yeah.
I loved it. Do we want to watch more of this or do we want to watch like
Yeah, because we need to get to their point. Because
yeah.
they're so fucking much smarter than people
that's
like
true.
Carlos
They have
Santana.
to,
that-
yeah, they have to enlighten us.
In the closet, that's your business.
Oh yeah. Wait. Listen.
Whatever you want to do in the closet, that's your business.
Bad choice of words.
That's an old school take, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
Now he's
in the
going to
closet.
like, yeah. Now
Like,
he's going to like, and gays fucking keep it,
I know.
keep it hidden.
Hey, everyone
Like, yeah.
with the feather boas,
right.
settle down.
Yes.
We don't need as much prancing as going on right now.
Yeah, we've all had enough. Like,
Yeah.
no more
The
parades.
flourishing.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
No more parades. No more fucking your own nightclubs.
no more halter tops with fucking Daisy Dukes and
Right.
feather boas just because you're going to the grocery store. It's
Wait,
fine.
look at I just noticed it says not so smooth. Ugh.
Ooh.
The Young Turks are like they're CNN 20 years
Yeah, I was
ago.
gonna say they're not
It's like,
young Turks anymore. These
No,
are,
yeah,
these
yeah.
are-
but because he had a hit called Smooth.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole display is just not
It's
so
not smooth.
It's not smooth. Actually, it was pretty smooth.
I know. I
he
thought
had
it was
some
actually pretty
fucking
smooth.
like some blues going behind
He
him.
should have fucking
and,
put
like,
some. Yeah, he should have put some licks in between those.
Yeah,
some
dude.
real signature Santana licks.
effortless. Just
Yeah.
go back in the closet,
Nice fucking
homos.
Phrygian. Yeah. Some nice Phrygian fucking
He
Latin
just keeps
shit.
going forever. Like, and really, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. God's judging you. You're going to hell.
And you know who you actually are inside. Stop denying God's love. All right, we get
All right,
it.
let's get back to these
yeah.
idiots.
I'm okay with that. I am like this with my brother Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, he's going a little old guy with the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's like, it just kind of came out of nowhere and was like,
Absolute.
but you know what? Important to a lot of people to hear that viewpoint, which is so rare to hear in entertainment.
Yeah, because
you know?
it's so frowned upon.
He probably had that intention as like, well,
I'm fucking Santana. What are they going to do?
yeah, well, who gives a shit? And
Yeah.
I can
Or, like, what
fucking-
can they do?
I can represent this side that a lot of us actually think. But
Yeah.
don't have the balls to say it in most cases, you know?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
let's see them fucking break this down because boy are there a bunch of irritating pricks. It's like,
Carlos Santana's okay with you staying in the closet.
oh, cultural appropriation. He just did the accent.
Yeah, Carlos Santana.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? See, this is
Maybe
the-
he's Latino.
what's his name? No,
I don't know.
you know
It's
what he is.
fucking Thaddeus.
But no, he he could be, I don't know, but still. It's always the thing of like, yeah, we'll have rules for
them,
for you, but
but
like
not
if
for us.
something we don't like, we'll like tell you that we want to
Yeah.
rape and kill you and all this shit.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so,
Tell you to die, all that
yeah,
shit. Yeah.
that's the rules.
So that's great news for all transgender people out there. Carlos says you can just hide who you are and not live as your true self. He's much better when he doesn't talk. This is the man who notoriously releases albums with famous singers, and he just plays the guitar.
How did he-
stick to the
All right.
guitar? And
How do they have an audience? Who wants to see this guy with this energy? It's much better when it all the time. I can't even do his voice. He's so weird. But like
You should do it, though.
The thing of he's much better when he doesn't talk or whatever. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Who talks like that?
I've
You know what I
wondered-
mean? Because
yeah.
he's not saying it as a joke or ironically.
No,
He's
no.
he's saying it like fucking nobility.
Yes.
Who's looking down on a commoner.
Yes.
Like, dude, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, he's saying it
Santana
from a
at least
pulpit.
used to be cool, you know?
Or a
Like,
soapbox.
Huh?
Like from a soapbox.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a presumed fucking righteousness of
Yeah,
some type.
and, some
You're
sort of
such
righteous
a fucking
authority.
loser. Who watches this, dude?
I don't
This is
know.
insane. I'm sorry.
ridiculous.
All right, let's get through it. We'll try
I
and
hate
stop
when people
so much.
tell people to stick to their things, but sometimes it's appropriate. The 76-year-old musician also told the crowd, I believe it was Maya Angelou who said, the only thing people are going to remember is how you make them feel. We want you to feel precious and priceless because you are significant and meaningful. It's important to validate and celebrate you.
That's pretty funny.
Unless you're trans, apparently.
What? No.
Shortly afterward,
Shortly afterward.
Yeah, he's got a weird
Get your
thing.
tongue out of the way.
Yeah, he
You're
has
supposed to use it to talk, not impede.
he has like a half a tongue and his grandpa's from Scotland or something, you know? It's very weird. I'm not sure exactly what it
unless
is.
you're trans.
Yeah.
Shut up. All right.
concert attendees took to Reddit with their reactions. One wrote, I went to see Santana tonight in Atlantic City with my parents, my partner, and her mom. Super stoked. One song in, though, Carlos Santana stopped and spent a solid 15 minutes spouting the most insane anti-trans BS I've maybe ever heard.
Oh, well, they've obviously never seen our show.
I was going to
Jesus
say,
Christ.
or any other, or never been to a bar, or never.
Yeah, you don't have an uncle. You don't have.
You don't have
know,
anyone around
yeah,
you. This
right.
is the most tame speech I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is not
This
anti-trans.
didn't even scratch
This
the
is-
surface.
No.
I mean,
No.
come on. Yeah. Here.
And now we're painting ourselves as anti-trans, and that's not what we are, folks.
No.
We're not.
I don't think so.
No. Yeah. All right, let's see.
Thought music, especially with this history, was
Scoot it
supposed
forward
to
a
bring us
tad so
together.
we see
Talking
Cenk.
about how special
Yeah,
here.
blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
enough of that guy.
that's-
All right.
Your thoughts, Cenk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
So look,
Diversity. Go on.
guy's 76 years old, and maybe
That's
it's
planned,
a religious
too.
thing
Oh,
because
yeah.
he talked about it when God and the womb and all that stuff. That's usually, religious talk, but it doesn't excuse it. And the thing that drives me crazy is, why don't you just let everybody be who they are? Why does it bother you so much?
Yeah.
Wait, let it go again.
That's who they are. Like, it's so frustrating. It's not just about trans people. There is this belief among so many people that everybody has to be just like them. Everybody has to be quote unquote normal. You all have to be the same. Oh, they like guys. I don't like a guy liking a guy. No, boo, be normal, like me.
Everybody get it?
Yeah,
he's describing himself right now.
Yeah.
Carlos Santana said what he wanted to say.
He has an opinion and a belief.
Yeah.
And he lives his life accordingly.
And now he comes on.
And now he goes, why can't you accept people with other beliefs than you?
He's not doing a show about you. Santana doesn't probably even know who this guy is.
No.
You know, I mean, there's a chance. Well, but still, I've never seen something so blatantly hypocritical in my life. They consistently for almost 20 years or whatever it's been have had the worst takes on everything.
Well,
they're like, there was another like famous time where, remember Lavoy Finicum? He was with those guys that took over the what did they take over? The Malheur Wildlife Preserve or something. Remember they were in connection to the Bundy brothers after the Bundy land had been taken. And then a bunch of like, I don't know what you'd really call them. Some of them were like militia guys. Some of them were just like anti-federal government. There was a whole bunch of like range of characters there.
Yeah, I remember.
And Lavoy Finicum was like the cool, older, smart guy. Yeah. And he got shot at a roadblock that he tried to go around.
Yeah, I remember this guy.
And at the time, the only account was from that girl that was in the car with them. And the Young Turks go on and they're like, well, she says that they fired in. It turned out everything she said was completely true, of course. True. You could see bullet holes in the windshield. They fired in from the front as he was approaching still. And whatever. So the Young Turks come on and go, well, you know, she says that, but she's 18. And they dismiss her entirely. The only eyewitness to the event that had said anything. This, and that's what they've been doing shit like that for 20 years. Who the fuck watches this, dude?
This is why people fucking leave them, by the way. Jimmy Dore and people like that. You know what I mean? There's been a bunch of contributors.
I didn't know until you told me about old girl.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we even have time. We could do that.
We could do it real fast. Yeah.
No, we can't.
We still have 10 minutes.
No, we don't.
Oh, is my watch off?
Yeah.
8:52.
Oh. Yeah. But yeah,
it'll only take us.
It took us a half hour to do an article on a trans disc golfer. We're not getting this in 10 minutes, buddy.
You don't want to do Anna Kasparian?
No, we could do it after. But yeah, I would rather continue what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you were transitioning to.
No. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that have left it though. Jimmy Dore, shit like that. It's the reason being is because they're so blatantly off on so many things that eventually people do just wake up to it and just be like, what the fuck you know what I mean? Like Jimmy Dore rallies against them so hard to this day because he's, been in there for years.
Yeah.
And just sits there and just dissects their fucking hypocrisy for them. But it's funny. What you're pointing out here is literally sort of their show. It's just, and it's sort of, I mean, I think the right is.
It's made for lunatics.
But the right is guilty of it as well. You know what I mean? We all know the age-old, sort of criticism of the right, the religious right at least, of, like, oh, you care about, fetuses, but you don't give a shit once they're out of the womb. You know what I mean? They don't want to subsidize this or they don't want to, have a welfare that. And you know what I mean? So that's the criticism on that side is like, what would Jesus do? Well, not what you're doing.
Sure.
But the left has a different sort of, glaring error in their thinking, which is they're constantly sort of trying to shame people into being compassionate and accepting and inclusive, yet they do not do that with anyone outside of their exact lockstep fucking ideology.
I've told you guys before about when I went to that Burning Man like satellite thing in Michigan. Mm-hmm. And it's all the same people that go to that stuff.
Yeah.
And their motto is radical inclusivity.
Yeah.
I was fucking picked out as not one of them immediately.
Yeah.
And immediately nitpicked and bothered and fucking ostracized kind of preemptively, which they were probably actually, we never would have gotten along.
Yeah,
there was
it's
no
fine.
chance.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe they were right. Just
sure
like,
they
dude, let's
were.
not even try. Like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah. But no, like we've all seen the videos where it's some guy from even like a libertarian or like an independent sort of viewpoint visiting like a woman's march or a pro-abortion rally or whatever it is. And these people immediately descend on them. They start, pointing them out. Don't talk to them. They're covering them hitting them with signs, covering their cameras, hitting their This is like, it's like you're displaying the behavior of exactly what you say not to do all the time. It's like, but if they do it in a weird, like rabid way. I guess the difference between that and if you see people, well, first of all, you don't see people other than like, like the black bloc sort of Antifa types go to any right wing rallies,
right,
to start trouble. You don't see a lot of like hippy dippy fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to do that. But the difference in the vibe is this neurosis on the left versus this like bravado on the right.
Yeah, and
you know what
both
I mean?
Can be annoying.
Yeah, but the right is like some of them. I think typically more of them are more comfortable with who they think they are than the left. I think a lot of the people in this sort of camp on the left, they sort of. I think what happens is like what
I was just gonna say where the main difference it comes down to for me is like when you extrapolate both of their views on government, the right is more likely to possibly leave me alone than the left. And that's really all it comes down to.
That's true.
That's it. Like I want whichever of you is trying less to control every single aspect of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I think on the left, now there's been studies done on this, what like personality traits tend to predict someone's political, leanings and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the big ones on the left is neurotic. It's the big five. It's agreeableness, trade openness, but it's
agreeableness meaning like in a dishonest, like where you agree with everything.
It can be. Yeah. It just depends on what context it is. But yes. But there seems to be this thing where you've chosen a camp. You've hinged part of your identity on that. Now that's in both sides. That's on all sides.
Sure, and I've seen it get way worse on the right in the past few years. Like, yeah,
absolutely.
Which they're not even left or right. They're both fucking far left, really. But,
but so then they have this stance that their person, like they see themselves as like they can't just sort of disavow any belief that they have because it's part of who they are. It's their identity, but they also don't believe in a lot of the things that they're espousing. So they know deep down
they can't, right?
that a lot of the shit that they're even saying is bullshit, even to them.
Yeah.
So that's where I think this like jittery, like this immediate, like get him.
How many people do you know that like left that cult in the past few years?
A
It's
fucking
a ton, right?
A ton.
Like,
yeah. Me.
I guess, and that's also the people we know got older. No, I was never in there.
Yeah.
I was never a Democrat or a Republican.
No, me neither. But
I think I didn't know what they even were until I was like 22.
Yeah, I really didn't pay a lot of attention. But I would say
I just had a general sense that like it was all corrupt. I watched the X-Files. I knew that it was true.
Sure.
I had like the general sense of things is how I've thought of it since I was like 12. Kind of came out to be true,
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much where I was too. I just didn't trust any of it, but I was more on I saw the left as like the arbiters of like justice, though. You know what I mean? I saw them because the right
maybe in like
in the
Bush
media is like
administration
sort of painted as like the greedy, carpetbagger and the you know what I mean, like the cruel, unfeeling, corporate CEO and shit. Which a lot of those people are Democrats. They're the same fucking people. Like you think the fucking Pfizer CEO is a Republican? Of course not. You think the major studios in Hollywood are run by fucking Republicans? Of course not. Like these people are the ones that you're actually talking about, but they're on your side. So that's what I mean by this like weird cognitive dissonance that they have to live with at all times.
Yeah.
And it's like it makes for this shaky frame that they just the second they feel pushback, they're just like, hey, you fucking shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? It's just like immediate. I've seen more. I mean, it's way more meltdowns on the left.
People are aware, right, that on the political spectrum, to the full, like the farthest left you can go is like totalitarianism, and the farthest right you can go is total anarchism. And it's kind of just one of those things of like, yeah, like that's a precursor to very fascist behavior, is like that knee-jerk thing of like, no, quiet, you know, and that's like just the early first signs of it, you know. And if you let them keep going where they're going, either
of them are taking you to a place you don't want to be.
Yeah, right. But when I look at like the Democratic Party, if I saw it just be in power and not have any competition for say 20 years,
well, that seems like
I swear to God, dude, I think we'd be like North Korea. I mean,
100.
If they were
China.
If they were unchecked for 20 years,
we would
like,
be
China.
Yeah. China. That's what we'd be. But yeah, that's really, dude, there's been people in the Democratic Party that have openly said they like the Chinese model. They like the
I've known
control
douchebags
that
like that in New Orleans that would be like, no, you just don't understand how efficient their system is, and they've figured it out. And you know,
all you hear is like racist propaganda from Republicans.
Yeah, you've never been there. I was talking to one guy who literally said, I was like, okay, well, how about this? I'm trying to find the most basic thing, because I'm like, what about their treatment of political dissidents? And he's like, you know, people just don't understand they're part of a collective and they should stop trying to rock the boat just for their own personal interests and stuff. And I literally said, I was flabbergasted. Yeah. And I go,
I'm flabbergasted.
No, I literally said to the guy, I just went, so you're just evil? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, I don't know. You're evil.
But you are.
Like, yeah, you're just evil.
You just can't acknowledge it. That's what I mean, though. They know that's. But yeah, I don't know, because I mean, I never thought that authoritarianism was the way out. You know what I mean? So that was never me. But I really was. I had a lot of blind spots in you know, my belief systems and my ideology.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
It,
it's just, you know, when you're young, you fall for the lie that
you're idyllic.
This one knows the rappers and is fun.
Exactly, and they
know,
are a part of the fucking cultural media. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're the ones that are. And now I'm not saying that now retroactively I'm going to go and say, you know, George W. Bush was a great guy. He's a fucking piece of shit too.
Of course.
Cheney, Dick Cheney. How do I forget?
None of this can.
Dick Cheney's a fucking like a
none of this
vile,
can possibly
evil.
Be real.
Yeah, exactly.
This
so
doesn't matter.
That's not where I'm at. But if that's the weirdest thing about the left right now too, to me, is that they're embracing like Cheney and Bush now. They're like, well, they're against Trump. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? These are fucking real war criminals that lied.
It's a madhouse.
It's insanity.
Dude, this is why you can't become involved in politics, because it is inherently, it's like literally goes back to some shit that Thomas Jefferson wrote. You know, like to have this sort of competition between parties will just inherently become corrupted and useless, you know? And to not even paraphrase, just to kind of guess at what he said.
Yeah, to make it up.
To make it up and sound like I know what I'm talking about a little bit.
Thomas Jefferson once on his while riding his skateboard to Parliament.
Yeah, he invented the kickflip.
I know.
And said,
it used to be called the Mad.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Yeah, it used to be called Mad Tommy Mads.
Yeah, I have flipped my skating board. Yeah,
the wheels are made of stone, so they crumbled immediately.
The children all ran out of the churches and schools into the town
and
square.
then were immediately beaten back into submission.
Yeah.
By the religious right.
Trafficking rings. Anyways.
All right, let's see some of these comments, because I think people have been yelling at us, or not yelling at us.
Okay, let's address some things.
What
guys?
up, Jack?
Hey, the phones have been on. I may have forgotten to know
I
that
can't
if
see all the
anyone was
comments.
calling.
Anybody else? No, it's because some of you are on Facebook, some of you are on YouTube. I would suggest everyone going to YouTube from now on.
Yeah,
personally.
Seems like a better party over here.
It does, and it seems like a better platform. Like I've said before, it's intended for video, whereas Facebook added video live stream much later.
Right.
And YouTube just seems to be, the infrastructure seems to be that of something that will support, you know what I mean, a live stream video podcast much easier.
Yes. And that way, people can text their friends while the show's on
Yeah.
and tell them about the show and what
and
we're
that-
doing.
yeah,
And
that's
you
the other
know,
thing about YouTube. Like
you can just put it in the corner and
Yeah.
start spreading the word.
Yeah, it's
the
on
entire
your
time.
screen, and you can do other shit on there.
Yeah,
such as
spreading
go
the
to
soup.
Facebook.
Yeah, you could also be watching us on Facebook and just mute that one, but it makes us look better. You know?
Yeah, we need to get a bunch of fucking robo phones in here just to have a bunch of fake people.
We should
watching.
go old school with our things. Yeah, we should get one of those old fucking like scam robocall machines
and just have it
and just bother all of the people watching constantly.
Yeah.
Just put all their numbers in there and just fucking fuck with them until they all stop liking us. It's right around the corner.
Brian says X and Y axis chart much better.
Oh, he's talking
conservative
about, like,
versus
the political-
liberal. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It does.
says-
George Bush doesn't care about the black people.
Well,
That
it's-
is true.
Hold on, that comment was actually pertinent. X and
The
Y
X- yeah, it does.
axis chart is much better. Conservative versus liberal, authoritarian versus
Libertarian.
I've seen that, so it's
It's 1, 2,
square,
3, 4. Yeah,
whereas the other one is just a line.
Yes,
A
exactly.
square is always better than a line. It's true.
it is. Unless you're doing blow.
Yeah. No, actually, a whole square of Coke, dude.
I'll do a line.
Right, it's not better to do, but to have.
Yeah,
It's far more valuable.
looks better.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
I've had that before.
Oh,
People
yeah.
come in and they go, "What? I've only seen this in movies."
Yeah.
I had a guy say that one time. I was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, he was a British guy, and he's like, "Look, that's a load of gear, man." I was like, "Is it?" I was so used to it. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, does this look crazy?"
Well, then let's get loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going into this one dude's house. We were getting a fucking couple bags, and it was like after bar was the next day. It was like 10 a.m. or some shit. And now we're back at some dude's house we don't know, but they knew someone.
Oh God, I don't miss that at all.
This dude's whole fucking house was covered with cocaine.
Yeah, that was kind of how my place was for a
Like
while.
me and my buddy were sitting there waiting. We're all just fucking gavoning. We're still drinking and whatever. And my buddy's got his ID out, and he's just doing like scraping lines off of just like surface of his coffee table,
Sure.
the surface of a book,
Oh, yeah.
the fucking TV stand, anything you did this to, you would just get a fucking line. We're just sitting there doing.
Dude,
blow.
my kitchen floor, if you just looked at it closely, was just all tiny little, like, when you're like cutting it and a tiny piece shoots off,
Yeah.
And it's just all the tiny little rocky ones,
Yeah,
It was
you cut it
the
up and it's
entire
just like
fucking
this.
floor.
Like one just fucking blows off. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Hell yeah. Doing coke and
Squares don't
shooting
do
guns.
coke. That's true. All right, Luke. Hey, before we go to break, everyone in the chat while we go to break,
Stand up and scream as loud as you can for the entire break.
and also, let's see in the chats, both YouTube and Facebook, let's see happy birthday to Luke, because tomorrow is his birthday. So there
Yeah, and
you
in
go.
celebration of Luke's birthday, I would like to see in the chat.
What's that?
What did we have him doing? I want
Boot.
everyone to hail.
Scoot.
I would like everyone to hail our newest pal.
Yeah.
You know him.
Oh, you know him?
You love him.
You love him. Let's get a quick word
He
from...
protects this land that we all love. It's the Radioville Bird of Liberty.
All right. Yeah. Give him what for, you know what I mean? Give him what for. All right.
Well, let's
folks.
head out to a break.
Yeah, let's go to a break. I am going to leave you fellers with this. And this is going to be us on a remote thing that we did a while back. And that was real fun. Where the fuck is the camera? There we go. All right, folks, we'll be back in just a minute.
Apparently, there's a new concept out there where they want cars with emotional intelligence. Which again, I
Yeah.
don't get why we need to keep doing this. Like, why
No.
there needs to like.
But there doesn't.
Yeah. So here, let me read this to you. This is from. I guess it's a Toyota thing. It's from
BMW,
Telart.
right?
Telart. Well, this is
Oh,
the
tomorrow's world
later
today.
one that
Yeah,
thought-
yeah, I got you.
I just found this today. Okay. It says Toyota here. Okay. Yeah. An emotionally intelligent autonomous car. No. Concept I communicates Toyota's future vision for mobility. One where humans develop a warm, ongoing relationship with autonomous vehicles that have intelligence and personality.
Uh-huh.
Hellert engineered a story engine, a modular development platform that unified the car's complex interactive elements into a cohesive live experience. How about
what?
No,
This doesn't make any sense to me, though. This doesn't make any sense.
First of all, it's creepy. I don't care what it is. I don't want it. I don't want.
So
like,
these
a
are
car.
autonomous vehicles that have intelligence and personality. Right there. What I don't know. What are you talking about?
Do you know how guilty I'm gonna feel? Do you know how badly I treat my cars?
Oh yeah.
With my car has emotional intelligence. Do you know what kind of fucking, what kind of
monster you're gonna feel
asshole I'm gonna be?
Yeah.
Like, dude. And then I'll have to live with that guilt. Oh, my car is sad. Like, I need that fucking problem on top of everything else. Now my car is depressed.
Well, this one
You know
says
what I
it
mean?
has empathy. Here, let's go back. I'm going to go back to this once. The vehicle, okay, a car with empathy. The vehicle shell was designed by Toyota's advanced design team. Stop making up names. Culty Design Research. They wanted to demonstrate the car's ability to develop a rapport with a driver. Vehicles are typically assessed more for their form than their user experience. The novel and UX-centric concept made it essential to bring the whole vehicle experience to life. Tellart was brought in to make that happen. What are they talking about?
I don't know, man. I
mean, it looks fucking insane inside. Is that what they're talking about? They just made it look weird inside? Like, it looks fucking cool. We're all looking at it right now. But
you just read the car with empathy section, right?
Yeah. And then look below it.
So I didn't understand from that why it's a car. I mean, is this just a really dramatic way of saying it's a car that has like your best interests in mind, or what?
I mean,
is
this
it?
car looks
You know?
fucking dope as shit, though. What the fuck is this thing? Look at this.
Are you showing it?
Yeah, yeah. Look, you can like
nice,
see
okay.
through. Look, the windows like on the top and the bottom, and this is pretty fucking bizarre looking.
Now, this is what I would have expected when I was a little kid or something.
Yeah,
and
this
they
is what
talk
cars
about,
should
like,
be.
2023, like this is
yeah,
what I
this
wanna
is
see.
yeah. So I'm
thing
on
is
board
fucking
for
awesome.
that. Yeah, this thing is insane. Although now that I'm looking at it again, I'm gonna go back up here. I'm looking at it. Hey, is this a Prius? They try to trick people into buying Prius.
Yeah, they just let's put this cool video game like shell
G.I.
over
Joe'd
them.
up
They'll
a-
never fucking know.
They Fortnite skinned a fucking
Hey,
Prius.
Get this. We'll tell them it's got emotions now.
Yeah, they'll feel bad for not driving it. Look at this
Right,
thing.
yeah.
They Fortnite skinned a Prius. That's what I'm looking at. They bought a skin from Fortnite. Oh, all right. Well, fuck that car. Now that I'm looking at it more, it looks cool in the dark. I'll give them that. The purple lights.
Okay,
and
what
shit.
is this kind of now we're getting into some kind of communist regime type of thing, I think. This says
Is this the same article? Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Our story engine development platform integrates interactive audio, video, lighting, and robotics systems in the physical design of Concept I to powerfully communicate the vehicle's abilities to Toyota leadership.
Whoa,
What?
wait, what?
What? This is getting even
What?
creepier, dude.
Yeah. What Supreme Leader gets it? Okay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The
And
internal
there's
project was
audio, video, and lighting
Yeah.
involved.
Oh,
Like,
it's a spy car. It's spying on you. Oh, nice,
That's what I'm
dude.
saying,
Cool.
dude. Yeah. We should just go back to horses now. I mean, it's going to be a fucking, there's going to be growing pains.
If this is going to be
whatever,
the thing,
but
yeah.
Yeah, dude. Let's
What do
just
we
go
do?
back to horses. I don't give a shit
Now,
anymore.
wait a minute. I'm going to go over to this other one that you sent me. This BMW unveils color-changing car with emotional intelligence, because it's another one.
Yeah. See, this
What are we
like
doing?
This is like a new trend in cars now. They got to have emotions.
I guess.
Why? I mean, why?
I don't know. Yeah,
What is- I still
here's
don't
the thing is
understand any of
I've been doing everything in my power to fucking nullify my own emotions.
I know.
You know what I mean? I have gone to great lengths to deaden my emotional response. The only one I haven't figured out
dude.
is rage, but I'm trying.
Watch, in 3 or 4 years, you're gonna fucking wake up, try to go in the kitchen and make coffee. Your microwave is crying.
Yes.
You have to fucking talk it off the ledge. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't spend
It's
enough
jealous
time
of the
with you
fucking
yesterday.
toaster oven,
You know?
and look,
Yeah, man,
we
like-
don't need this. We're going down a rabbit hole that is literally unnecessary.
Do you know? What the funny part is, I would actually love it if all of my appliances came to life because I'm so fucking lonely here.
Yeah.
I would. I was
Yeah.
just thinking about the irony of what I was
that's,
saying, that pretending I would be so annoyed by this, and then I thought about after the show
like, I would
when I'm done.
talk.
I was like, dude, I would love to go talk to my microwave. Like, it would be fucking awesome. I wouldn't be completely alone in this creepy old apartment where somebody just died underneath me yesterday, and
Yeah,
then
that's
like
no
fucking
China.
Hey, how about that? That was us.
That was us, folks, just doing our thing. You know, why not?
Can't stop doing that every single time. Sorry, guys.
Yes.
And we're back on Radioville.
We sure
for an
is.
action-packed second hour. Thanks for sticking with us. I am fucking, guys, I feel crazy. Like right now, I was just outside swatting at moths for no reason. Like, I am so hungry and tired. Anything might happen. We don't know.
We don't.
That's the thing.
There's no way to fucking know, really.
Yeah, I just got to get through this. We're going to get through it together. It's going to be awesome. Check it out. Earlier, I found this fucking, I don't know why stuff like this irritates me, and I can never just let people have what they like. I'm sure, but stick with me here because I had a funny idea. I saw it. So, all right, can we read that? Or
Yeah. Okay, so this is Rockin' Souls post. Jim Morrison's old room at the Alta Cienega Motel, 1005 North La Cienega Avenue, West Hollywood, California, 90069. I don't know why the fuck they had to put the whole address, but Jim Morrison lived here on and off from 1968 to 1970 as a sign-on room, 32 states. What? As the sign on the room, buddy.
on room 32, because this is room 32 of that hotel. As the sign on room 32 states.
I see. So they have a placard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Inside the room, this is, you see all the artwork of fans who have stayed in the room after him.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, so this is this hotel room where everybody that stays there adds their stupid little fucking thing. And it's
God.
very irritating. It reminds me of like when somebody in high school would have like a poster board.
Yeah.
And when everybody would get high, I'd be like, dude, add something to it. And you'd be like, oh, man.
I want everyone's like.
I'm going to do like a
fucking
feather.
personal, like,
It was just all like mushrooms and weed leaves
Yeah, of
and
course.
shit. And like,
squiggly lines filled in black.
Some design, a pyramid maybe or something, you know?
Yeah. The S.
I think we were past that at that point. What was that from?
That was from Sims, the company, the skate company Sims.
Was it? Okay. Yeah. Or no, what was that thing? Stussy or
Stussy was a different
Stussy.
S, yeah.
Yeah, it was? Okay.
I wore a lot of Stussy back in the day.
Anyhow, I'm looking at this and I was just thinking about how fucking funny it would be to go rent this room
and paint it
and dude, post a picture of yourself like with overalls and like a denim hat and stuff, and like have like a paint roller and a big cans of white paint, and just be like, gonna finally clean this place up and just watch everybody lose their fucking minds.
Live stream it, like, all right,
and then really do it.
Oh, if you did
and
it,
then
you'd be fucking murdered.
Dude, you'd be fucking that guy that ruined the Cubs that one year. What was his name? Bartman.
Yeah, that's exactly who.
You'd be
That's
chased
exactly
out of
who
town,
fucking
out of the world, because people love this guy still.
Oh yeah.
And I think one of the reasons it irritates me, but anyway, I was just picturing that, like actually doing it, and being like posting pictures the whole time.
I wish
like,
you could
finally getting this place cleaned up to how it was when Jim stayed here.
It would be okay. So what you could do is you could rent the room and then live stream from it, but then pull a Radioville and have a different, you know what I mean, a pre-recorded video where
so you can get out of there.
No, so that you have like the walls, you've like, you know what I mean, you get. So, okay, it'd be elaborate, but you would get one of those like wall covering companies that will do a custom like vinyl mural, and you have them
recreate
make this in a different room. Yeah, and then you pre-record yourself actually painting all over it, but you're not really doing it, so you don't get fucking sued and arrested
like
50,000 times.
Pissing on it and shit.
Yeah. And then just watch the live stream comments coming in. It would just blow up. There'd be a million people all of a sudden. People like, dude, get on this fucking live stream. This guy's fucking painting the Jim Morrison.
Yeah, dude.
And then it would be the top hoax.
It would be
year.
like the people that threw the soup on the fucking Mona Lisa or whatever they did.
Yeah.
You know,
except way cool.
Can't fucking remember what it actually was. No, it was sunflowers. Yeah.
But it'd be way cooler than those two, like fucking blubber-mouthed idiots.
Yeah.
Remember those two?
Stupid British kids.
I want equality for everyone and no oil.
I'm not
how?
very good at public speaking. I'm not.
Yeah. But you didn't say how you want to do that.
But no,
that's an important part.
The thing that what irritates me about it is like the weird. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm like this, but I just don't like that people like him so much. You know what I mean? It's
Jimmy
like,
Moore?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know a ton about him, honestly. It was one of those ones I never really did. But like he just is one of those figures like Kurt Cobain or whatever that it's like
not a fan of Kurt.
There have been a million artists since, and there are these certain ones that I feel like just dogma kind of drives this like constant worship of them, you know? And it's like
I'm not
one of
fan
those things
that.
of like where people are like they just like to like the same thing. So it's like
oh, this is acceptable.
You like that?
My friend, yeah.
Me too. Now
100%.
we understand each other totally.
Yeah, I've always had an issue.
Is this the guy that woke up in a Soho doorway? Or is that somebody else?
I don't know.
I can never keep all those bands straight. And I know that sounds fucking stupid, but I really like sometimes I mix up the Doors with the Who.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like,
no, I have no
I don't really know.
The only reason my exposure to the Doors was really that was like my freshman year when Val Kilmer portrayed Jim Morrison in the Doors. And it was a huge cultural fucking, thing that but I just remember like the entire class, of that year, those couple years, that freshman, sophomore, junior, you know what I mean? That was in at like 90, 91.
Right.
Everyone was suddenly in tie-dyes. Everyone was suddenly wearing round glasses, doing acid and shit. It was like, it sort of spurred
I do remember
the
that
massive
too.
acid fucking sort of resurgence in the 90s.
Well, when I was in high school in like, say the year 2000.
In the year 2000.
Oh, I fucked that up. Sorry. I'm still getting used to the new setup.
In the year
See?
2000.
Shit. Anyways. So around the year 2000, we were doing the same thing, and it was all tie-dye for some reason. We were doing acid and listening to the first time I did acid. We were all dressed like hippies and listening to Jimi Hendrix. I'm like, why? I don't really know.
Where
But,
did this come from?
Like, we didn't have our own stuff. Like, it just was like.
But there were certain people that never let it go, and they were just like hippies for the rest of their life.
Sure, it's a club. It's a culture.
Everything's a fucking club,
and
we're not in a club.
No. And that's what I was talking about.
That's why we talk to each other.
That's why no one likes us. We're supposed to. You're supposed to associate with other human beings at some point.
Nah.
I think. You're supposed to go like
sounds horrible
into
though.
your 40s with a teenage angst of like, you don't understand me. Like, you guys don't get it. Just leave me alone. That's supposed to end.
I mean,
at some
let's
point.
just be honest, though. At this point, we have both realized nobody does get it when it comes to us. There's very few people.
Nothing to get.
Yeah, typical.
Yeah, what you see is what we are. It's all authentic here in Radioville, you know?
But Jim Morrison, so here's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people actually know that Jim Morrison has been the subject of a controversy or
I like the way you
controversy.
said that, yeah. No, you did a whole new one. You did it like Danish. It was like,
controversy.
Right. Very detective-y, you know?
Yeah, it was turn of the century.
Right.
This century.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long
We're bringing
ago.
it back.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
It was around the year 2000.
That was better.
Yeah. But yeah, so check this out. I don't know if you've heard much about this. So here's a little
I've
piece.
heard a few things over the years.
Have you?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't believe you.
Whisperings, echoes.
Yes, that's true. These are all murmurings on the wind. And so this is from a site called Please Kill Me.
Okay, this is what's cool. It says.
Yes. All right.
Well, who doesn't know and love and trust this source?
Yeah, this is a great source.
Yeah.
So this is why we're citing it.
This is actually Breitbart faked his death and started this site.
Yeah. Him and fucking Olbermann.
Yeah.
Have teamed up.
They're joining forces in the underworld.
So this is here's a picture of old Jim Morrison and old Frankie Zapp. Mm-hmm. And the article is called "Were We All Brainwashed by the CIA with Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll?"
Right.
I like that. Yeah, give me a little music to read this to.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you know that LSD and hippies were invented by the CIA in the 1960s?
Far out.
Yeah. No. Well, the idea was to hook kids on sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Hey, it worked.
Sounds groovy.
So they would not overthrow the military-industrial complex. Accomplices in this diabolical scheme were, in England, the Beatles, and in America, Jim Morrison, Frank Zappa, and other residents of Laurel Canyon in L.A. Flatly dove down this conspiracy rabbit hole to find out how this happened.
Bro, you're harsh in my mellow, man.
Yeah, man. I don't even know if I want to delve into this like Dove did.
not sure I can handle it.
Flatley did. Joseph Flatley. This is funny. When I read that, I read it as Joseph flatly dove down.
Yeah, you're really batting 1,000 tonight.
That's what happens when the only thing you got in your brain is weed.
Yeah.
And beef.
Weed and beef diet only. Yeah. That's all that goes on around here.
Yes.
It's really insane.
That it's still continuing.
It's not. I know we already talked about this, but I'm like surprised that you can survive like this. Like, it's very weird. If you would have told me what you were going to do before you did it, I would try to stop you. I would be like, you can't, dude. You need other nutrients. It's really actually kind of mind blowing to see that you don't need any nutrients to
other
live
than meat, yeah.
Other than what's in beef.
Because it's fucked up. And salt, though. You do need the salt. So here's a little tidbit for anyone gonna venture out on an adventure in carnivore land. When you're making your sheet of meat, after it's done, take a capsule of magnesium that you would normally swallow and then just sprinkle the magnesium on the meat as if it was a seasoning. God. Then take another one of vitamin K, vitamin D, and vitamin A.
You're just making it worse somehow.
The same.
That's crazy.
And then if you want to really try and detox some biotoxins, you can get yourself some okra extract and just sprinkle that on there a little bit. And that's not meat. So that's technically, I'm off the rails.
Right, yeah. I'm surprised that doesn't throw the whole thing off to have a tiny, like, diluted molecule of okra.
Yes.
He's like, something is wrong.
Yeah. No, but then, yeah, salt, potassium, and magnesium. That's really what you got to get. Yeah, I know everyone's really into this stuff.
One molecule of okra? What are you, some kind of liberal? Sorry.
But yeah, so let's take a look at this. So the allegation is, okay, so were you aware that Jim Morrison, Frank Zappa, and Papa John Phillips and David Crosby were all children of high-ranking members of the American military? Or that Los Angeles, Jesus Christ, Los Angeles neighborhood of Laurel Canyon, one time home to all of the above, was also the location of the Air Force's 1352nd Photographic Group.
Why would anyone be aware of this?
Yeah.
It's one of the most boring things I've ever heard.
Might not mean much to you, but according to the late conspiracy researcher David McGowan, they indicated a military psyop of mind-blowing proportions.
Yeah. I mean, who hasn't heard about pop music being controlled by some shadowy group? It's not really exactly groundbreaking, but I think people think that this was a freer time. When in all likelihood,
well, that's the whole thing. Yeah,
everything was a creation. You know what I mean?
It's all a construct.
In all likelihood, they were in control of this long beforehand.
Especially then.
Yeah, Robert Johnson sold his fucking soul, and the industry was never the same afterwards. You know, and when was that? The 20s, 30s? No, I think it was even before. Yeah. But anyways, once that happened, and then those Jewish guys from New York came down and fucking stole Sunhouse's soul through a weird recorder that they had.
Is that what it was?
Took it back and made millions with it.
Now, we're not saying all Jewish people did this.
No,
very select few.
It had nothing to do with their religion, I don't think.
No. Or their tribe. Now, McGowan claims that the hippie movement of the 1960s was conceived in a government lab somewhere as a way to diffuse the nascent anti-war movement. The plan was, simply put, to hook the kids on rock music and hard drugs, taking their minds off of revolution in the process. Now, that seems like a terrible idea because all it did is spur revolution.
Yeah,
right?
Well, I think so. They didn't understand LSD. They remember how they were still pretty in the dark about it as late as the late 50s. Yeah, but no one understood the effects or how to really identify them or define them.
Yeah.
So, if you ever read some of the earliest, the guy that first invented it, and accidentally ingested it.
Yeah.
Had a very weird description that would be
was his
nothing
name?
like my description of LSD.
No.
You know what I mean? And
Well, he took a lot by accident. He didn't even know he was going in.
yeah, but I mean, he talked about like a bizarre euphoria and this and that and stuff. Just the way he described it seemed like a very simplistic for someone who's obviously capable of complex thinking.
Yeah.
I just remember thinking it didn't seem like a complex description. But anyways, whatever. They didn't know very much about it, and I think it could be the case that it's like maybe they figured, hey, it's a drug. Blah blah blah.
It'll get him hooked.
Well, they thought at one time it might be a truth serum.
Yeah. That's
you know,
what they were really
thought,
testing it on the military.
I think they even got it involved in some of the like fucking MK Ultra stuff.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Brainwashing.
It was used. I mean,
and-
we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Ted Kaczynski was famously in the Harvard LSD experiments.
Rumored Charles Manson was also.
Yeah. Jolly, what's his name? The CIA operative Jolly West was the one that was supplying him with LSD. Getting him out of prison repeatedly for real crimes all the time, and like instructing him on how to control people's minds while on LSD, all that shit. So it was a deep CIA thing.
But
So
I don't think they really understood the enlightening capabilities.
yeah,
that they
or like
had.
the inevitable door opening,
sure,
sort of,
and
facilitating fucking abstract thinking to a point where you never would have.
Paradigm shifting.
Yes,
you know what I
completely.
mean, and
World changing.
Right. Yeah. And imagine, dude, that would have been something to see for an entire generation to experience LSD. Because by the time we were young, we were kind of the weirdos for doing it, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the whole world was turning on to this. That must have been kind of fucking crazy. You know?
I'd like to give the world a hit. That's that one song.
Oh yeah, that is how that goes, huh? Oh, that's the original version.
Yeah.
It was
that was by Frank Zappa.
The radio
and,
got
Papa
involved.
John fucking Phillips over here, or whatever the fuck his name was.
Who? Jim Morrison?
No, Phillips. What's his name?
John Philip Sousa?
No, Papa John Phillips. See, I was right.
sorry.
It's fucking from the Mamas and the Papas.
Yeah, but I think that
But anyways.
I think it must have been fucking nuts to see it manifesting in pop culture and stuff, and like just.
I mean,
this,
it really
like-
did paradigm shift, though.
It did.
It like shifted cultural.
But then they went and had the 70s, which was all pretty vapid, and the 80s. We know what happened there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it didn't really have a.
That was Coke's time.
Did it have a lasting effect on our society? I guess there's still hangers-ons and people that are still, sort of holding the candle for that whole entire thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, but. My point is, I don't think that they achieved the suppression of anything that might have been wanted. Oh, breach! There's a breach. Breach. There. Yeah. Yep. Get him. All right. Did you get him?
Damn, they were fast.
Yeah.
It's like their leg muscles are different than ours or something.
Yeah, no, that guy, that
God.
little guy was really making his way.
I wish they would just go back to Africa. They were cheetahs.
Yeah. No, there was just cheetahs in the studio, guys. Jesus
What the
Christ.
fuck?
God,
Everybody
people are
turns on you so fast.
sensitive, man.
Cancel culture.
I know. That's what it is. It's cancel culture. But
You
at
know?
least you killed all the cheetahs.
Yeah.
There was like 56 of them.
Damn fucking things are
Now we got to
fast,
clean
dude.
this up.
I know.
This is ridiculous.
Well, we're going to make Baker's Mint. This is something I just came up with in fur money.
Dude, we're getting into the fur game?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, what are we going to do with all these fucking cheetah carcasses?
Literally
You just shot 70 of them.
Since the 1500s in these parts, that's the game
true.
to be in.
Furrier.
If they still let you sell fur the way they used to, it would be a great thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
I would probably do it.
You'd be a trapper.
Oh, yeah.
You just be. You're already basically a trapper. You just don't have any traps yet.
I live the lifestyle of like like a prospector or a trapper or a trader, but I just don't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm just walking around out there like.
But you could be
man,
doing all three.
Be cool if something was going on out here.
You should try to barter with people when you're out doing your things, and then you come across somebody. You should always try to barter with them and like get goods from them for like some.
I mean, Tom, isn't that what we do every day at the gas station? What's the difference?
What am I buying gas?
Yeah.
What am I What am I driving a car?
I got a little wheel.
What? I'm gonna turn the wheel. What the?
Put my blinker on.
Hey, I'm gonna take a turn. Everybody, look at me. I'm a man. I'm driving a little car with a wheel.
Sebastian Man a screwball. Everyone. God, I'm fucking weird today. I feel so weird.
Yeah,
starving and tired.
You are odd.
My leg is shaking. I had a giant cup of coffee when I started too.
Yeah.
Like huge. I don't know why I do this. I always, it's, the thing tells you, like, you have 1 teaspoon of the, because Tom has powdered instant coffee.
Sometimes I
just
sprinkle it on
dump
the
a
beef.
bunch in there and it's fucking crazy. But okay.
So I wanted to show you something. I thought something, I came across something a little bit interesting. So a lot of people are familiar with, oh wait, you know what? Before we do this, let's look at a couple comments, you know?
Yeah, sure.
We've been gun happy tonight. You know?
I know. Well,
a lot of, see, people were concerned.
Good, yeah.
When we were breached.
And you guys remember to check in safe in the chat during any Radioville emergency?
Whenever we have a breach of any sort or an emergency, you know.
Mark yourself safe.
Yeah.
So that we know.
All right.
So a lot of people responding with sirens. That's what you do during an emergency.
That's exactly
okay.
right. Yeah. So great pronunciation. I read this. Great pronunciation, and I said great pronunciation. So I mispronounced the word that she was rallying against me for mispronouncing words. Anyway.
Now Cadence Miko says, "Why would you not just eat a vegetable to get your vitamins?"
Me?
Yeah.
Because fuck vegetables, that's why. I'm not playing that psyop.
Tom thinks fruit is a lie now. He tells me, I'm like, oh yeah, I eat all natural fruit and vegetables. He's like, oh, that's no good, dude. That's gonna come back to bite you in the end.
Hey, man.
It's like you shouldn't be having those natural sugars or anything.
Here's the thing. Animals, bovines specifically, eat the vegetables and process them through their innards that is equipped to do so. Then we eat the flesh of the animal. What am I eating? Flesh of an animal? But yeah, then we eat that and we get the nutrients and it actually is absorbed. So you have lectins, you have fucking all kinds of shit in plants. See, plants, their only defense since they can't move is to make poisons so that animals that eat it are deterred the next time.
Okay.
And the
enzymes get the poison out.
Yes, and so we adapt to it, but it's really not what we should, in fact, be. Some of it, yes, and fruits are different. Fruits are a quick burst of glucose that you would not normally have unless you happened upon ripe fruit on a tree or something. You know what I'm saying? So in the wild, caveman days, you'd get it, you'd gorge it, and then you'd go back to killing.
And that's the theory here. I mean, it's terrifying, but I'll take your word for it. It is very odd. This is an insane thing you're doing, Cadence says. Well, Darcy says, "Hi, Connie. I was wondering where you were." I like how quaint our chat is sometimes.
Sometimes it's very nice. Had to grab dinner and whatnot. Our last night.
Look, they're telling each other their days.
Yes. Well, I think Super Spreader Connie, General Connie, is on vacation in Florida.
Oh, hey, congratulations.
Hey, Myrtle Beach. Why not?
Yeah.
You know?
And phone lines are open for the rest of the night, guys.
Yeah,
if you want to
call up if you want.
If you want to join in on anything pertinent to tonight's conversations, an opinion,
I thought you would get
I think
you would be interested in this because so a lot of people have been aware of Michael Phelps due to his multi gold medal winning performances in the Olympics for swimming.
Is that what he did?
He was a swimmer.
I thought he was just a random spokesperson.
Yes.
I never knew he had a skill.
Yes, he's a Wheaties
They
guy.
should put that out there.
I know.
You know?
But so when he was winning all of these gold medals, people started remarking about his body and his physiology and how it seemed to be built for swimming.
Sure.
For speed.
Neil deGrasse Tyson begs to differ.
Well.
I saw a clip of him going, People say Michael Phelps' body is built specifically for swimming, but they fail to take into their equation. But
Jesus Christ.
they fail to take into consideration how much time does he spend in the pool? How often is he working out and training?
Hey, dude.
It is not a unilateral analysis. Shut up!
Yeah, that's not what anyone's saying. Fuckface,
Yeah,
we already
Jesus
know.
Christ.
So let's take a look at. So Michael Phelps,
making myself mad by remembering Neil
I know,
deGrasse
well,
Tyson.
I can't stand the man.
Yeah.
So here he is. He is 6'4" in height, 6'4", but his wingspan is 6'7", which is not usually the thing. Your wingspan is usually around your height.
Same. Okay.
Yeah. Feet size 14. His legs are very short compared to his long torso. Now, this is claims made by people that say that he is built genetically in a way that is just, happens to be good for competitive swimming.
Now that's surprising for the best swimmer in the world to have some sort of genetic disposition that would give him any advantage.
And I've actually heard that his fingers and toes are slightly webbed.
This would never stand in a brave new world that we envision.
Or,
right? Hey, one day, buddy.
Hey, that's what we're doing,
They would have given him some kind of surgery to prevent this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be the same.
Yeah, no advantages.
Fit in.
Yeah.
Comply. But so I happened to stumble across another gentleman who seems to be built for his sport.
Oh, okay.
And he's much lesser known, I think.
Sure.
But I thought it was very, interesting to see another athlete like this that was like built for the sport that he's doing. And this guy's name is Dalton Lecoe. Now let's take a look at this guy. Mm-hmm. He's a power lifter.
Wait.
And
what the fuck is going on with this guy? I've never seen this guy.
Yeah, power lifter. And he's apparently built.
He's a cartoon.
For powerlifting. Now, I wouldn't have guessed what is built for powerlifting.
His body looks like Space Ghost's body.
Yes, but apparently it is having your waist all the way up to
your nipples. Yeah.
Apparently this is the pro powerlifting body.
That's the optimal thing.
That's it.
Dude, I would never would have guessed that.
No.
Because it looks like
look at his arms compared to, I mean, obviously, no. Disclaimer. He's obviously got something going on genetically.
Yeah.
But what some people will call a disadvantage, I call an advantage.
Did you ever take your action figures and take the legs and the torsos apart and mismatch them?
Yes.
That's what looked like what happened to this guy.
But I mean, he's crushing records. You know what I mean?
Then fine, but
I mean, it's not the body type.
Hilarious.
I would think if someone was like, "Hey, draw the ideal physique for a power lifter."
Well, and also to do a lift like that, like your legs being freakishly long helps. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Look at him. Is there a video of him?
His arms are pretty long as well.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Everything is long and. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, what is this? Do you come from like a line of people that look like this,
or is this like a genetic? I don't want to say defect.
Sure, no. It's I
want to make it worse. Malfect.
Yeah, a defuck.
I will say this though. So I just thought you would be interested in.
I am very interested.
Dalton. Dalton Lecoe.
Rarely have my eyes laid upon a more freakish and bizarre looking human being.
But also fit for a competitive king. I think this one is really the one that's the most telling about. Now, it appears that he's just been lifting such heavy weights that his arms have stretched. Is really what it looks like.
Dude, he looks like a Rick and Morty character or something.
Yeah, like that. And now look, again, folks,
like,
we're not making fun of this guy because he is built differently than other people.
Speak for yourself.
My point is that it seems that this build model is ideal for powerlifting.
He's a model
lifting.
Too? Oh, sorry.
Yes, he is.
Weird.
But you know who doesn't? I don't know. Let's see. Let's check in on our old pal and see what he thinks about it.
It's so much rain!
Dalton
It's gonna be a thing we're doing until we have things, and then we get sick of them.
Yeah.
And
what do you guys think about Dalton
LaCoe?
How about that? What do you guys all think about Dalton LaCoe?
Yeah, he looked like a Bob's Burgers character or a Rick and Morty character, something where they draw people just like purposely wrong. Or what are those ones that everybody that's younger than me likes, but I don't know what it is. Oh man,
I don't know, but I mean, this all could be also said about anyone with a physical disfigurement.
Anybody that just looks terrible, yeah, you could pretty much do this,
Sort of.
I mean, would you not have to dude, if I saw that guy walking down the street, I'd have to follow him,
Yeah, I'd have to see what he's up to.
I need to
and now this is going to sound insensitive, but I would be curious if he was going to lead me to a pot of gold.
Right, or something magical.
Something magical's happening, dude. Nobody has that long of arms and not involved at least tangentially in something magical.
He's not going to be a regular guy. It's not in the cards for him,
Yeah. Now, if I was this man, I would 100% dress up as an ape all the time, because you could literally walk, you could do the walk and look convincing.
Yeah, dude. He should just be a professional Bigfoot hoaxer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
but he's not that tall. He's 4'8".
Here's the good thing about that. How they always catch those is they measure the gait and
That's
the
true.
distance of the legs and the arms and
well,
this
fuck
and
it. At
that.
that point, Michael Phelps do it too. Michael Phelps could do it.
They would do an examation of him in a suit
like, this is
and
definitely
conclude this is no way this is a human being. Mm-hmm. That would be the thing. They should have considered that before he went and fucking blew up this whole fucking spot, having 10 pictures on Google Images, and that's your whole
that wasn't
career.
good.
Yeah,
well,
that's his entire existence and career because that's all we saw. What a loser.
Yeah, guy's out there busting records. What an idiot. Mm-hmm. How about this one, dude?
Yeah. We got a scoop?
Hey, we do.
Hey, everybody.
Not that one.
Tonight's
tonight's
hot Radioville
of bullshit is, I don't know how many people had seen this. This was a couple weeks ago. This was, beginning of August that I saw this. Fairly shocking. Secret medical lab in California stored bioengineered mice laden with COVID.
Now, how sure are we that this happened?
Well, pretty fucking sure, since they were arrested.
I know Tom looked into this way more than me. But,
yeah, so let's take a look. Let's look at this.
And this is another thing that is you just wonder how the algorithms work, and I never saw this come up anywhere. It's not.
I didn't either. I got to do deep
news.
dives. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, you got.
I'm like fucking Flatley over there. I dive deep, son.
You got to go. Yeah,
like fucking Philip Flatley or whatever his name was.
That's a callback.
And I flatly dive in.
All right, so what do we got? This
Check it out, dude.
This
Give
shit
me
is so
fucking suspenseful music. I'm not gonna come back to this. I'm gonna sit here and take a couple rips of weed, and then I want some suspenseful music to where, because this, folks, this is a real scoop.
All right, well then you got to keep it going while I frantically try to do this on a laptop that doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rip this weed a couple times because I want to get into this story. Because, folks, this story, when it came across my desk, shocked, awed, and other ways shook my world. And apparently this was in the great state of California, the once great state of California. Now they can't even keep illegal Chinese laboratories out of them, but it's fine. But this place, it was a biotech laboratory that was unregistered, unaccounted for, and what's the word? Regulated.
Sure.
Nobody knew this was happening, but it was, as we'll get into in a moment, it was a full-on fucking operation, like funded operation.
Right.
That's when they're really funded.
That's
when they're overly funded. They become
fucking dandy fop status operations. Hey, wait, that reminds me.
Orpa.
Somebody told me that Oprah's real name is Orpa, and she changed it to Oprah. Somebody confirm this in the chat. Just to do it. We're doing a bunch of things right now. Just somebody figure that out for us.
What the fuck's going on with that?
Apparently her name is Orpa. So we need to know if that's true.
I do need to know. That's insane if it is.
Now, would you like to tell us the story of the secret Chinese lab?
Yes, I would. And any mispronunciations are intentional for comedic purposes. Fairly shocking. Secret medical lab in California stored bioengineered mice laden with COVID. A months-long investigation into a rural California warehouse uncovered an illegal laboratory filled with infectious agents, medical waste, and hundreds of mice bioengineered to catch and carry the COVID-19 virus, according to Fresno County authorities. Health and Licensing said Monday that Prestige Biotech, a Chinese medical company registered in Nevada, was operating the unlicensed facility in Reedley, California, a small city of about 24 miles southeast of Fresno. The company, according to Reedley city manager, had a global goal of being a diagnostics lab.
Okay.
They never
had a business license?
Yeah.
How ballsy.
The city was completely
kinda like them now.
unaware that they were in this building operating under the cover of night. The Fresno County Public Health Department launched its investigation into the facility in December 2022 after a code enforcement officer saw a garden hose attached to the building that was presumed to be vacant and had no active business.
Holy
license.
shit, what a nosy fuck, dude.
Yeah, he's
oh
like,
my
hey,
God.
what's that hose doing?
Yeah, dude, who does that?
Yeah,
Holy
this guy.
shit. He's
What
like,
a
oh my
fuck.
God.
He's got the right job, too. He's probably built like an asshole.
And what would you think, too? It's probably just a homeless guy trying to take a bath or something.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I would think.
and he calls it in. Wow. This is
Wow.
like how,
This is the,
yeah, wasn't Ted Bundy caught because a guy noticed that his license plate was different than what he had put on the thing in the hotel?
Yeah.
Or something like
what?
that? Yeah, really?
Dude, what? How fucking, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, further inspection in March revealed that the facility housed various chemicals, suspected biological materials, bodily fluids, and hundreds of lab mice, among other lab supplies, according to court documents. County public health officials said they also found medical devices believed to have been developed on site, such as COVID-19 and pregnancy tests. Being a small rural town of 2,600, walking into what we believe to be a vacant building and finding lab supplies, live white mice, was fairly shocking. So, all jokes aside, though, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like, after several attempts.
The Illuminati fucked with the boombox for a second. I think.
Obviously,
So,
yeah. All right.
But go ahead. So whatever. We'll
After
do that.
several attempts to communicate with
Prestige
Prestige Biotech,
Biotech.
Fresno County officials are accusing the company of not being forthcoming with information and failing to comply with orders, such as providing a plan for hazardous and medical waste disposal. You should be doing sign.
I just thought
for
that
the
was
people
kind of
that,
cool. I'm going to listen back to that later and see how close we were.
Fresno County public health staff completed biological abatement work of all the. So basically, here, check this out. The CDC detected at least 20 infectious agents. Certain rooms of the warehouse were found to contain several vessels of liquid and various apparatus, bodily fluid samples, serums, thousands of vials of unlabeled fluids, and suspected biological material. Like, this is not a fucking thing that you shouldn't hear about.
Well, okay, so
Why isn't
I mean,
nobody talking about a Chinese lab going rogue?
Key points: operating under cover of darkness
Yes.
in covert status, like
Yeah, and if the CDC
operating
is
on
saying
U.S.
that,
soil without a business license,
and
this is
from a
pretty crazy.
hostile government.
Yeah, I mean, they really don't tell us a lot about the coming war with China. You know?
Yeah, this is
And
the thing. Or is it? Or have we already lost?
Meaning,
Is the current left really CCP agents embedded within our government to overtake the entire sovereign country from within?
that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is pretty fucked up.
such a plan would have to be years and years in the making. But people say shit like that, obviously.
But people do
You know?
say that China, like the way that the Chinese politician types work, is like on a decades-long plan rather than like 4 years.
Well, this is why I always say you can't have a fucking country or society for 7,000 years or whatever. Like, you can't have that.
Yeah.
You've had too much time to plan.
Now, which one are we talking about?
China.
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 Oh, sorry.
China.
Yeah.
China.
But
China.
you can't. They've been around way too long. They're too crazy. They're too cunning. They're too dangerous. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with you, dude.
What you do about it? I mean,
Well, what you don't do is let them operate biotech labs under the cover of night in fucking California.
I mean, it's
That's what
hard-
you don't do.
it's hard to
And when
believe
they
that-
do it, you don't suppress the fucking story. That should be front page news.
Right.
On every fucking outlet when it comes out. Instead, where am I seeing this? Fucking,
it's buried in the business section.
yeah, USA Today. Come on, who's listening to that? What am I? reading USA Today.
Right. Like, I got time for that?
Yeah. No, but yeah, I thought that was fucking wild, dude.
That is a crazy story.
And if I can find it in here, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I mean, and it's hard to believe that there's not some level of organized cooperation from within our government when you see stuff like that, you know?
Well,
it's and so
something else. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
But the other thing is, they just never tell us anything that's going on with China. Remember a few years back, there was...
I don't.
China, no, I know it's tough, but China had said, we found and captured your spy drone, right? And
Yes.
the U.S. is like, oh, I don't know.
We didn't have a what?
We didn't have a spy.
drone.
Actually,
That
wait.
was not a...
Bring our friend in for the explanation, please.
Oh, yeah.
And the U.S. responded,
What?
it was a research vessel.
Yeah, fucking, we don't have drones.
It was collecting information about the ocean floor, which is something we really need to know about right now.
Yeah, not your dictatorship and harsh, violent regime.
Yeah. So that was their response. And China was like, nah, you're an idiot. It was a drone.
Yeah.
A spy drone. And it was, I'm sure.
Well, here's a little thing that
you never get the story.
No.
And neither, I mean, whatever. They've been gone. My only point of that example is they've gone back and forth with claims against each other like that with a bunch of little things. Clearly, there's already...
We're both doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing it.
The battle
India's
has
got
already
fucking
begun,
Trojan
like,
camels. You know what I mean? It's all fucking... It's chaos. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But so this is one thing that I found odd because this is in USA Today. This is like doesn't seem like... So it says hundreds of mice were also found at the warehouse where they were kept in inadequate conditions in overcrowded cages. Okay, normal lab shit. With no food or water, same. According to court documents, an associate with Prestige Biotech told investigators the mice were genetically engineered to catch and carry the COVID virus, the documents added.
That's creepy.
Hey, what's the fucking...
Well, now we're seeing...
What's the likelihood that this goes on the same month that we start hearing murmurings about new lockdowns, new variants, mask mandates,
Dude.
more booster mandates? Hey, you making it in California? What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. We're, by the way, phone lines are open on this topic for the last few minutes of the show. How do we respond if they try to roll out another full-on lockdown?
Oh, no, I don't respond.
No.
I do nothing different.
Well,
I'm
right.
done.
So you're just, but what about, but like, who owns this, a business or whatever? Or this and
Okay,
that,
okay. I walk into a store and you're the guy at the store, okay? And
Okay.
I'm walking in and I don't have a mask on and you do. And
Okay,
I'm just
I'll
like,
start.
Yeah. and
Sorry,
I'm just
sir.
like-
We don't sell gay porn and lube here.
and then I go and I get my
okay.
gay porn and lube.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
That's brave, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty brave.
I know.
No, so yeah. I mean,
fucking brave,
we already
dude.
got there towards the end of the last.
I was there since the beginning, dude. You could ask people. Like my poor brother that has to work with me just saw this over and over.
Yeah.
Me and fucking storming out of stores and fucking
I would
in
fluctuate-
heated
I would
arguments
fluctuate
with
'cause there were
help
times-
desk people and shit.
Yeah, there were times we were just tired and you didn't want to fucking do it, you know.
And for the longest time, I had just those plastic shields at the beginning because nobody knew what to say to what. You know what I mean? And so I just wear that because it didn't restrict anything. It was just like it was just a headband thing that went on and had a shield. And then eventually people started. Do you know what was the fucking worst with that shit? Was fucking Menards, dude. Menards was the most goddamn Nazi fucking COVID motherfuckers, mask motherfuckers that there were out there. At least in the hardware community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were pretty strict, a lot of those big corporations, you know.
But they in particular had like people at the door like, hey, no, wait, no. You're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? Get out of my way.
Dude, it got to the
It's
point.
in my pocket, I'd say.
Yeah, I have one.
I'm going to
Thanks.
take it out and I'm going to put it on. You don't have to see it.
Dude, it got to the point with that. I remember telling you I went to the UP and was thinking like, oh, well, these people up here will not be, you know. But I went there. It's like a small town of 1,000 people. Everybody was fucking, you got to put your mask. I was like, come on. It's like
wrong.
Yeah, there's 3 of you in a grocery store here. I understand you're all 90, but still.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. Okay, here, let's come up right now. We can come up with some good rebuttals to common, mask shaming. So, what were some of the things that we would hear? You have to. Hey, excuse me.
I think we should just spit on them.
Oh yeah.
Because it's gonna be to that point if it comes back. Like,
dude, I might start hitting people.
I
Man,
swear to
I'm
God,
not even
I
shitting
can't
you,
go
dude.
back.
I honestly,
And-
if this becomes what it was, if it even gets,
even approaches it,
yeah, even if it looks like it is, I'm stopping it myself.
There's going to be a civil war, dude. It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
But if so, we're seeing
with fists,
and we're talking about how we're news oracles. I can tell what's going to happen already. I don't really have to look that much into it. Plus, I can tell you this. I think I might only be able to talk about one particular disease all day, every day for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I think I might not be able to do it again.
Yeah.
And
I can't do it.
We spent so much time
pretending,
and that being the only. How long was it the only thing people talked about, dude? I mean, like,
it was a long time, man. I forgot that. That really was. I remember us saying, like, dude, I don't even want to talk about this at all. Like, there's no part of me that wants to talk about it, but there's nothing else. Nobody's going anywhere.
All
Nothing's
the news
open.
related
There's
to
nothing.
it.
Yeah. It was just like, that's right. I forgot how weird that was.
That's why, dude. It's like,
dude, if they do it again, man.
It's like a spell was broken at some point. And remember how good it felt when it was just like, okay, mainly for me, because I was breaking the rules the whole time. So was he.
Yeah.
We had a few bars that would let you in still,
yeah.
and there'd be 25 people in there, and
awesome.
and none of us gave a shit, and it was fun. We were having fun while everyone else was being weird.
Yeah.
And like I was driving around with a couple of my friends because everything was empty. We were just getting fucking hammered. There was no cops anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
driving
Traffic
around
was
blasting
great.
music, getting hammered and shit.
Yeah.
Going anywhere we want. You could go fucking just like make a whole bunch of noise in the park at 4 a.m. We were doing it all the time. Nobody was doing shit about it.
You could just break into play. I mean, not that I did, but I'm just saying.
No, you could do whatever you wanted.
Do whatever you wanted
for that one summer in
Yeah, it was
particular,
weird.
whenever that was.
Yeah, 2020.
Okay, 2020. That's right.
Yeah, summer of 2020. I'll never forget it. I already forgot.
I mean, that was so much fun, dude. But anyways, the point is, what was the fucking point? We were in breaking. Oh, I was breaking the rules the entire time. But really, what it was for me that was the biggest relief is when I saw everyone else kind of fucking stop because
you saw it slowly eroding.
The whole time, you could tell people would get tense. Like I had exchanges with like people close to me in my life where you could tell they were tense because I thought it was okay for us to go near each other.
Yeah.
Or like,
oh,
it was,
dude, I went to one social distancing birthday party. And I didn't realize that it was going to be this, but I was like, wait, what is it? Like,
holy shit,
it was
really?
a surprise and shit. Yeah. And it was bizarre, dude. It was all a bunch of people, like that we know from the bar.
What
That
did
wasn't
you have,
like people,
like circles to stand in? Or?
It was just everyone was masked up and like, 6 feet away from each other, just like standing there fucking drinking beers and shit. And I was like, I was like, I gotta go, dude. Here's the thing. What actually happened is I smoked a bowl because I was like, I drove here. I'm not gonna fucking get drunk right now. It's 2. And and here's the thing is, then we're all smoking a bowl. So why are we standing 6 feet apart until we smoke a bowl and then we split back up? I was like, so I got high and then I just realized the lunacy of it all. And I was like, I gotta go.
But it was, dude. It was a full-on cultish behavior of like everybody knew it made no sense.
I know.
And people would go, "I don't care, just do it."
That's exactly
Just do
the
it.
answer.
Yeah,
and this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that was a common thing to say. So what's a good rebuttal to that? You fucking should, idiot.
I mean, it's like walking away from like a person that just won't respond to
comply,
logic. Or but like if you have someone in your life that's like, okay, I've tried to tell you what the issue is. I've tried to resolve it with you. You're a crazy person and you won't do it.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we're there where it's just like, dude, but that's a scary place to be.
I know, because then it's like really
because
divided.
there's people we've cared about that were like that.
And I still
and
care
they were
about
caught up
I
in
just
it.
can't
Yeah.
interact with.
Right.
Like, that's the weird thing is I still care about these people.
Oh, dude, how many people do you know
Some of
that between Trump and COVID are never talking to each other again?
Yeah, no, they broke.
Fucked.
There was a chasm. A fucking schism.
Well, I mean, in that way,
occurred, and then a chasm formed.
And I'm sure that's a big part of the
What's
goal.
another jism?
Yeah, right.
I just wanted another ism word.
There's not very many.
There was a schism.
There's only like 2 or 3.
And that formed a chasm.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're exhibiting some of that tonight, or is it the opposite? I have to count it through. No, we're not doing
we're
it.
Disestablishmentarianism.
We're disestablishing our Antarianist
disestablishmentism
right now. Yeah. That's what you guys are witnessing.
What you're really witnessing now is just I just got really
the disestablishment of our Tarianism. Live on the air. Isn't that a special moment, you guys? That's cool.
I'm so glad you guys got to share that with us.
I love being able to share moments like that with you guys.
I think it's one person here now.
No, it isn't.
I don't know.
No, there was like nobody on Facebook because I think the people are coming there and they don't know that everybody's over here on YouTube. And they're just going,
it'll
this
take
sucks.
a little bit. It'll take a little bit. Hey, tell people. We'll tell people. I guess that's our job.
We need a thing flashing on the screen that says "Go to YouTube." And if they can't figure out, again, we've discussed this. How many people have gone, well, how do I get to your YouTube page? And I'm like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to fucking throw you
these are the
front
people
of
I
a
don't talk to
train.
anymore.
I am going to scoop your remains up. I'm going to mix them with napalm, and I'm going to shoot them out of a cannon and be done with you. You know? Like,
yeah, no. And it's going to look like this.
That's not the right one, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's them raining down as napalm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. You've made idiot confetti.
That's And I know. Yeah. I mean every single word of that.
Yes. All right. Well, there's 14. Oh, there's 14 people here. She says. I did not know.
Yeah. It's fine.
Tom, you and I didn't. Okay. We didn't accept the complimentary hand sanitizer and whatnot. No. Fuck all that shit. Feel sorry for the morons wearing masks. Yeah, that's a good point, though. There are people that have never stopped wearing masks.
Oh, my God, dude. I see
him still.
I work with a guy sometimes. I won't really say too much, I don't think. But no, it doesn't matter. He's a drummer. I can't even remember his name, so big deal. But he's a guy in one of the bands that I've worked with a bunch of times. And I've only met this guy in the past few months. And every single time I've seen him, he's outside with a mask on, inside with a mask on. He will, like, sit in the far corner when everybody's in the eating dinner in the room or whatever. He'll sit in the corner and take his mask down and have a sip of water and put it back up. I'm just like,
You're
are
fired.
you fucking crazy?
Yeah, you're fired. You're crazy.
At this point, dude, if I had an employee behaving that way,
I would be like,
you are unhealthy around the other people.
Yeah,
you can't
honestly,
you can't be here.
Also, if I had a family member doing that, because I don't. I might actually, but it might be someone I don't talk to be honest.
Yeah.
But if I had somebody close to me that was like, I'd be like, hey man, we need to address this. There's no reason to be this scared of this. And you know that.
That is a thing too. At this point, it's like, let's sit down and
something's going on here.
Yeah.
There's a reason that you're this hyper. Either you're so fucking dug in politically that you literally cannot exist without this. Like your identity can't.
Without this stamp on yourself.
Yes, or you're so, such a hypochondriac that like the littlest nudge, well, I guess that's not a little nudge, 3 years of being locked down and masked and shit, but that sort of thing just broke you. And now you're just like, no, it is here. I can't, you know what I mean? But something's going on and it needs to be addressed.
That's the thing. I remember asking.
We have to have compassion for these people, but also fuck them.
So this is a funny update to a conversation we had in the very, early in the wake of the entire insanity of this, when I was talking about when you saw people start to relax and stuff, but there was still maybe 5% of people were doing it. And I remember us having the conversation on here. At what point does it get that we can legitimately consider this mental illness?
Yeah.
And we have long passed that point.
Way past that.
You could deal with it in the beginning just because it's like, okay, maybe you need to adjust. Maybe you need a little time to bone up on.
Yeah, but now thinking back at that, no.
No, I mean, I'm not going to hang out with you, but
knock it off.
But I'm not going to necessarily want to throw you off a cliff just yet.
But I definitely knew most of the people that I knew that were very masky and mandatey. They were just doing it politically. They didn't believe it. You know what I mean? They weren't scared of it.
Do you remember
on the side they'd party? They didn't. It was for show.
I saw a lot of fucking sanctimonious people break their own rules when they got drunk, dude.
Of course, fucking million times.
Oh yeah,
million.
And but do you remember? Here's one of the other douchiest memories of this entire fucking thing. Do you remember the first week of masks and everybody posted on Facebook?
Oh yeah,
their mask picture.
Yeah,
I remember all of you doing it. By the way, and it's like everyone. I did not do it.
You know who
did not do
I didn't do it. You didn't, and guess who else fucking didn't? You know who? This motherfucker. Because these colors don't run.
His beak would just poke right through it.
And they don't mask. Yeah. And also, masks don't fit the eagle's beak.
Right, that's why we chose the eagle as a symbol of freedom. Because you can't mask a beak. So, no, the douchiest thing ever was that week when everyone with their sincere eyes, and you did your eyes like that.
Fear.
Some of you out here now remember what I'm talking about, and you did it, and your eyes were so fucking brave and sincere, but you had your mask on in your house to take a picture.
Yeah. By yourself.
I remember this, and it was fucking bizarre, and it's mind control or something. I don't know.
Something happened,
but everybody
it was an experiment for sure.
Immediately wanted to show, I do it. Watch, it was new.
Yeah,
look, I do this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you got the
how-
quirky
if
ones.
they only
Eventually,
knew-
very quickly, there was like quirky ones with the open mouth, or you know what I mean, a smile on it, or those started coming because capitalism did not skip a beat. It was like, what masks are good? Hand sanitizer. We'll make 2 billion.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean,
3M. Oh yeah. We'll just how many masks are we gonna sell? 5,000 times what we ever have. Okay, cool. Yeah,
that was the weird thing about that period was it was really great for some people and real terrible for some people, and it was remember talking about how it was the most massive transfer of wealth in U.S. history or maybe world history or something. Yeah, and okay, so what could possibly be the motivation to fake something like that, or to fucking, or I don't think it was fake by any means. I think it was a synthetic thing, and I think
it was
a bunch of people are in on it. You know,
I mean, manufactured sort of means fake, though. And
well,
I think
okay,
it
I
was
just don't mean it. I don't mean it was a hoax. But which was my initial reaction. I was like, this isn't real.
I thought,
and then I got it, and I was like, okay, well, it's something. But it felt synthetic as shit.
Oh yeah,
it felt like a bad drug.
Yeah, the actual virus when I got it, every time I did, it seemed very not real, not natural.
Nothing
at all.
like you've ever had before. Yeah,
it was.
You know, like you ate a fucking chemical or something.
No, you know what? It was a difference between like shrooming and doing acid, where you got strychnine involved. You know what I mean? That was the difference.
That's what I always
It was like shrooms are like it's a thing that acid is as well, but it's like rounded, it's mellow, it's natural feeling. It's like, and then acid is like, you know what I mean? There's like this thing, this layer of it. That's what COVID felt like, a flu, but then this layer of like artificial fucking sweetener. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Some sort of saccharine.
That's what, dude. I just remember thinking like during it, I'm like, this isn't a cold. This is a bad trip. Like it's just like I had that very feeling of like, oh, I got to get this out of me.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I need to deal with it with my immune system. It was more of a thing that felt like it was going to filter out. You know. Anyways, that could be totally wrong, but but it seemed.
No, I had the same feeling though, for sure.
Yeah, and so anyways, are people saying how they're going to react to the coming totalitarian?
Oh, we all know how they're going to react. Andrea says that's
seriously.
how it felt on COVID too. Yeah, that's how she felt on it. People don't know what YouTube is. Come on now. Me.
What's the number again, folks? Of 061 pi. That's of the word.
It sure is.
0 the number.
Look at that hotkey, folks.
6 the word. Watch that. 1 the number. Pi the word. Dial it up. Join the conversation. Anyone who'd like to.
Or don't.
Yeah, we've
name
figured
is Critchlow.
We used to always have the fucking phone number up. Maybe that's why nobody calls us anymore.
Yeah.
Or they're just, I don't know. It's weird to me. There's a bunch of people that like the show and think it's fun and stuff. Like, jump in for a quick comment. So we're not sitting here like complete assholes. And so we'll
still be.
While we're attacking other shows. And eventually somebody's going to come find our epides and be like,
dude, you've been doing this for a while, buddy.
They fuck, you're 2 years in, you're begging for calls and no one calls. It's going to hurt us, dude. Do you guys not understand? We're fragile, okay?
Yeah, our egos are that of cellophane or paper mache.
Just barely.
We're barely hanging on, ever.
Yeah, it's a thin facade of well, no, I was going to say it's a thin facade of functionality, but they don't think that about us.
No.
We're just
that facade's not there.
Just two
neither of us are functional.
Wildly emoting old people.
Idiots.
Okay, somebody's calling in.
What's the number again?
Hopefully my admonishment hit home.
Yeah, really.
This is a old fan of ours, Darcy, up in Wisconsin.
You're on the phones, buddy.
I know.
Oh. I didn't even see you did that. Nice.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
So what do you think about all this malarkey here?
Oh, just nonsense. So I may or may not have just had COVID.
Oh,
I was fine.
Late bloomer.
Yeah, no, I had it before.
Yeah,
but
do you
I
know
just got,
how
home from Florida?
Do you know how out of style that is, dude? What a loser.
Right?
Yeah, wait, where'd you get it now?
Florida, of course.
So I was just in
DeSantos.
Ah, okay.
And probably like the day we were leaving, my sister got very sick. Mm-hmm. And we got back, and she tested positive, and then I felt kind of crummy for like a day and a half.
Yeah, so they put it back out.
Yeah.
Somebody did it.
I mean,
because it was gone. It was gone.
Yeah.
They're trying. They're trying, but like...
We just saw a lab discovered in California breeding mice that carry COVID with unmarked fucking biohazard materials all over the place.
Well, yeah. No, that's all I keep seeing. All the videos I'm seeing is everyone's like, "Oh, they're going to bring it back.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
gonna bring it back. It's going to be lockdowns." But
Yeah,
it's the same as it was before. Most people get sick for like a day or two, and then it's over.
Now, what if this started having a lethality of like Ebola, like Sam Harris?
Well,
always likes to
Alex
point out.
Jones said in the beginning that like this is the first one is just the test run. The next
Yeah.
one will be the truly lethal one. And I don't know how he knew
Well,
that, but he probably
have you
could
guys-
be right. Maybe I don't know.
Have you heard about what's going on at
Oh my
Burning
God!
Man?
What if that's the chess move of the whole thing? Set you up with the first one so that a lot of us think it's no big deal, and then the second. Oh fuck! Wait, hold on.
And it's
I'm
the
a COVID-
ones that are like typically going to go against you that are going to get it the second time for sure.
Hold on, guys. You're hearing it here first on Radioville. New COVID is lethal.
It is going to be lethal.
Thousands of times more lethal than the first run. I'm actually going to probably freak the fuck out about this because I'm really stoned, and that idea actually seems kind of plausible now that I'm saying it.
I mean, it could. Now, what were
Because
you
if
saying?
you know how they work,
wait.
it's like, yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, what were you saying? Did we hear what? Sorry.
Supposedly, there are rumors that everyone at Burning Man who's being held there. You've heard about this?
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw this. It's very. I saw a couple
rumors
things.
that there's a virus going around there, and some people are saying it's Ebola.
No, it's probably fucking syphilis.
Ebola?
It's probably syphilis.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
I
There's
don't know. They're
many
saying there
viruses
are
going around. Burning Man.
Boils
should see
and
that place.
hemorrhaging going on.
Boils and hemorrhaging.
Yeah, it's syphilis.
That
But
sounds like a nice
that's
Saturday night.
70,000 people.
Huh?
It's not like a small group of people. That's 70,000 people.
Yeah, nah, and it couldn't happen to
nicer
to more deserving folk. In my opinion.
Yeah,
I
if you're
fucking-
gonna look,
Don't worry. Chris Rock and Diplo got out. They're going to be fine.
I saw
all
that.
right,
Yeah, they like walked out. Well, so I mean that should tell you something. Maybe they had some inside info, and they're like, "Dude, we need to walk 6 miles in the mud
We gotta
right
get the
now.
fuck
Like, we
outta
gotta get the
here."
fuck out of
They
here."
were
Yeah.
in the back of a pickup truck with a bunch of other concert goers.
No. They walked.
Like-
They walked really far, and then eventually got picked up.
Oh, is that what it was? I didn't
Yes,
see that.
that's what it is.
all right. No, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, I had like a cough, and I was kind of tired, but I still did my dishes. So that's
There you
what
go.
the new
That's the new model?
coronavirus is.
oh, okay.
Hey, that's exciting.
Or is it goading us into not giving a shit about this new?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought
So are
because
they
then the
putting
new
out
one
one
comes
that's
through.
like, oh, nice,
We're all
and
like,
then-
oh, dude, we don't need fucking masks.
and then we're all fucking just flopping.
yeah, just
Who
like
knows?
the original Chinese footage. That what the hell was with that? Another weird thing.
Yeah, no shit. They were fucking bodies on the ground,
Yeah,
spraying
people
down the whole
screaming
streets.
and, yeah,
with
like-
fucking
That never
bacterial
happened
shit
here.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Disinfectant.
Yeah,
All
for-
right. Well,
for a-
thanks.
For a giant pandemic, you would think there would have been some like visual representation of it in society, other than people wearing masks and whatever. Like, I never saw like any situations. And,
no,
like,
even like where they're
bunches of-
saying like
bunches of people going to the hospital.
Yeah, I didn't even
like,
see any of that.
You
I
would
really
think
didn't.
for something like this, though. You would think you'd see evidence of it, like
A lot
out
of
in
it.
your town. You know, like yeah,
Yeah, you would see it everywhere.
right.
That was the
No,
narrative.
but they gave us a bunch of numbers, so that's good enough, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
all I need to
Seen
know.
I've seen studies that are saying upwards of 80% of the deaths that were attributed to COVID were not probably COVID.
I mean, dude, all I had to see was a few like legitimate cases where it's a comorbidity and it's like obvious that they
Yeah.
died of something, and it's like COVID.
Well,
COVID.
also,
like
yeah. So here's the thing: is like
I wish I didn't say that word.
COVID deaths spiked during that whole like pandemic little era, but overall, all cause mortality, like overall deaths, did not move. So what does that tell you? If the line of overall deaths stays pretty constant, but then one thing in it is like spiking up, well, that means you're misdiagnosing that, and a bunch of the other shit that is typically killing people is now being diagnosed as this thing causing the spike, but the death toll is actually not.
Devil's
any different.
advocate. There's a lot of car accident deaths, and people were not driving and going anywhere, so that could be part of it.
Yeah,
You know, and stuff like that. Workplace deaths.
that's true. Yeah, people. There was more suicide
who
though.
died who happened to have COVID, they said it was COVID. It doesn't matter what the
know.
underlying issue was.
I get it, but there was a ton of
What was
suicide
that?
too.
That
Yeah,
was the
but
thing is, what was that drug? The one that helps you get off opioids?
AZT, no.
ganja, man, it's
No,
all
remember,
I
you and I had a bunch of
need.
it when we lived in New Orleans. What was it?
Oh, salvia? Oh no, kratom.
No,
Kratom.
kratom.
Yeah.
They were attributing deaths to kratom that were clearly not kratom deaths just because they had some of that in their system.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time with supplement. They'll fucking do one study. That's Ma Huang. There was this pre-workout that used to exist called what was it? I don't know, Agent Orange or something. But the shit in it was like this Chinese root called Ma Huang. Dude, you'd fucking drink this shit and be like, you were like fucking amped, dude.
Sounds great.
I would take it before I'd go and play basketball, like neighborhood basketball, and I would just be a fucking animal.
I'm gonna be searching your cabinets for this shit.
That's great.
Make sure that.
But yeah, they did the same thing. They were like, "Oh, somebody died and he was using it," and then they just like banned it. They do that all the time.
Yeah, it's like, I did like 10 grams of heroin, but I did some kratom
Also some
earlier,
kratom,
so I
yeah.
must have died from the kratom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all know what's going on. We're not fucking some sort of patsies, rubes, marks. You know what I mean? I think everyone gets it.
Sorry, I'm trying to understand what's happening in the chat. Stizzy's saying it's from highly alkaline mud. It sucks all the moisture out of skin, similar to chemical burn. What's he talking about? Is that about this?
Is that what it was?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, the Burning Man. The Burning Man thing. Okay.
Oh, the Burning Man thing.
Oh, crazy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course a bunch of hippies turn it into a big to-do. You know,
Yeah, and
fucking make a
also
big
to get
deal out
back
of
to
it.
that, look, I'm very against our own government or any forces out there manufacturing and dispensing viruses to get people sick. But
I'm on the fence.
if anybody's going to do it, and they do it at Burning Man, I'm actually pretty okay with it.
I am. Those are the most insufferable people I've ever been around in my entire fucking life, dude. It's the worst place in the world.
I've never been there, and I know who goes.
I'm assuming the real one is like the satellite ones,
of course.
so it's the same people.
It's the same people. It's just they're more of that.
And you know how I can say
they're like more of that. You know what I mean? They're able to because they have the resources.
Oh, and they're also way richer.
That's what I mean. They have the
Apparently, there's a whole
resources to go
hierarchy.
full fucking Burning Man person. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But they are, dude. Everyone at the thing I was at was the same person, and I would be so surprised if anyone was any different than any of them at this place. Yeah.
Now, there was a festival in Indiana years ago that went on yearly. I don't know if it's still there, but that was one I always wanted to go to, and it was called Nudes a Poppin'. And it was like a stripper fest in Indiana in this giant field. And it was like porn stars and strippers and shit. And a couple of my buddies would come back from there, just fucking have all these like
Darcy, cover your ears.
Reels of pictures with all this like just everyone's getting wasted and fucking. I was like, what is this? I was like, dude, I remember I was like 23, 24 or something when they first told me. I was like, and I never went. We planned on it every fucking year.
Dude, things like that even exist anymore?
I don't know.
You used
They
to
probably
hear
got
about shit
masks
like
on.
that, and you'd be like, damn, dude, I want to go to fucking, what was the one, Skatopia? Is that right?
Skatopia.
Like, that place was always, like,
Yeah,
you
but
hear
you weren't
stories
getting
about
fucked
it.
so much at Skatopia. You know what I mean? Nudes a poppin'.
Dude, I bet you Skatopia is pretty happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I saw a thing about Skatopia, and it just looked like a bunch of underage kids drinking.
oh, well, no, we can't go there
Not
now.
now.
I'm talking about stories back in the day. Like,
No,
I
10
don't.
years ago, I saw a documentary about it, and it was like a bunch of 15-year-olds getting wasted.
Yeah,
It looked creepy.
Well, they were like lighting cars on fire and all kinds of shit.
At
I would
Skatopia?
just hear stories about this over the years about that it's this wild fucking place that you can do whatever you want. It's this giant patch of private property that they won't let the cops onto, and it's like just this place they have shows.
Have you ever?
and fucking,
You've gone to those, right?
Kind
Something
of
like that.
Yeah, not as
you
big
ever-
as this, but
You know who the Rainbow? Is it not the Coalition?
well, I was
That's
just sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it was like this hippie, like deadhead sort of group. They were the Rainbow something. It wasn't
Hey,
the Rainbow Coalition.
Darcy, we'll let you go in case anybody else wants to call in
Oh,
about
yeah,
COVID.
okay.
All right.
Bye. Thank
See you
you.
later.
But yeah, they would always have like these tents at like dead shows and shit where they would make spaghetti and shit, and then they would feed it, So, anyways, they had I don't know what it was, Acid Fest or some shit like that up in Wisconsin. I don't remember what it was actually called, but it was like a bunch of jam bands, a big stage, but just tents fucking everywhere and just everyone tripping. It was like a dead show, but not. It was like just a camp out, like a fucking acid camp out. It's weird. And we went there. We were probably
I've
like
been
18
to places
or some
like that, and you just wonder who did this. How does it?
It was on somebody's farm
exist?
up there, and
like-
the cops were just patrolling back and forth the whole fucking time. But they couldn't go on his property unless they saw something. So like everyone was told to like be back in back of all the whatever. But yeah, I remember we went there, and then fucking we didn't sleep. We just drove there overnight. We just decided to go like late night drunk. And then we just head up there. Now it's like early morning. We haven't slept, and we're like, oh fuck, all right, let's get some acid. But we pass it up. My buddy that's driving fucking turns into this like DNR little path, and then tries to go real fast backwards and just fucking flies into a ditch. And now we're stuck. And the other people we're with are like, well, what the fuck,
Just
dude?
immediately?
Yes. And so we didn't even get there yet. So they got to go, like, try and get help. But meanwhile, some fucking local yokel gets out and winches us out of there. You know what I mean? So now we get there. Now we all just fucking buy acid immediately and all eat a bunch of acid on no sleep for, like, you know what I'm saying, 24 hours. And then we're just up for like another 15 hours just dosed out of our fucking mind. Dude, I saw a guy fucking levitating a ball as he just like slinked through the fucking crowd, and he was like, had like a cowl, like a brown like wizard's cowl on, and he was just like, and this fucking like crystal ball was just behind, like suspended or something. I was just like, what the? But I tried to follow him and I couldn't fucking find him.
Yeah, you'll see stuff like that. Yeah, I've had those.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh shit, that was fucking
like, wow, all right.
Good.
And I'll tell you this. Oh yeah, go ahead,
dude. I was doing this show called the Kitten Fest. It was a festival in like Savannah, Georgia, and it was a fantastic failure. It was like that Fire Fest thing. It was like the people there, like that were running it at the end of the day, were like walking around crying. You know, it was just like I think the weather was shitty, and they had like a real like low turnout compared to what they had expected and stuff. And anyways, we did it like mushrooms, acid, coke, ecstasy. Drank like a handle bottle, you know, one of those times.
Yeah.
And it's literally, I haven't done that very many times, even as much drugs as I've done.
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
there's certain cocktails.
It's a pretty nutty thing to do.
Yeah.
And
no, it's very.
But me and a couple other people are pretty much doing that. And I remember I got like stuck. I was like, it's such a weird trip where you're just like, I don't know what I am, what's happening.
Yeah.
And this guy comes walking up to me, and you could tell he was fucking evil, and he was crazy. And this is in one of those, like, it's like an alligator and a goat farm, but also there's shows here. Oh, you know what I mean? Like one of these things. And so he comes up and his eyes are fucking crazy and weird. And he goes, are you with angels or with demons? And I was like, oh no, dude, this is bad. And he was like way bigger than me, and he looked crazy. And I was like, dude, I'm fucked up. Like, I was like, angels. That's what I said. I was like,
did he? That was the answer.
And then he goes, like, he like looked like he didn't believe me, and I was like, come on, man, we're all with the angels around here, right? Something like that.
And now, was this a guy that could have just like shook you?
I mean, anybody probably could have at that moment, but like he was very like crazy looking and like he wanted to kill someone. So he turns kind of, and I'm like inching away, like, all right, I think. And now he's like, his attention goes somewhere else, and he's off. I'm like, okay, good. I gotta fucking tell some people about this guy, because I'm like, this is the type. Somebody like that is gonna rape a girl in the parking lot or beat somebody up or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
he's gonna be a problem.
I'm like, I don't know what to do about this. So I found like one of the organizers, and I told him about it, and he was like, yeah. Just like that. After what I told him, I was like, no, this guy seems like really off, and like he might do something really bad. And the guy's
like, yeah, dude, you're tripping too hard.
The guy's like,
get out of here.
What do you want me to do about it or something? And I was like, do you guys not have any plan for this?
Oh, then you just realize
there's fucking 500 people on drugs here. Like, there's nothing going. There's no security, nothing to maybe keep an eye on this guy. Like,
nope.
And that's how those places are. So then,
good luck, they told you.
So then I went and found this guy was standing at literally the entrance by the parking lot, the entrance to the place, and he was standing there with a staff. Now, you would have to imagine that this guy has something to do with the place, right?
Yes.
So I go up and I'm like, tell him about the guy. And he's like, oh shit, all right, let's go check it out. Right? But he doesn't even work there or anything. He was just standing there with a fucking staff. So we go, and we can never find the guy again. Never saw him again. And
he was already murdering.
Dude, he might have just like walked into the alligator farm and just because I actually did later that night, because they told us, this is how crazy these nights are. You know, they tell us like this. The whole way back to the tents flooded, all crazy. They're like, check it out. Between alligator things, the big ones are here and the small ones are on this side. So walk on the small one side, and there's like it goes up into like a lip kind of thing where there's a fence along the top.
You gotta jump up?
No. So you're walking. So like there's a pit.
I see what you're saying.
There's a pit of alligators, but there's a slippery, muddy, like 3-foot little lip thing on the edge of the pit. and like a wire fence, and you're on like
Sketchy.
10 drugs. And they're like, and we're like,
I wouldn't trust myself in that scenario without alligators.
Well, so
I would fall over that fence, slip in the mud. I'd be fucked.
We went in the pit on the side of the small alligators, which were like this. You know,
Okay.
still they could
Not
do
good,
that. They
but-
could do the Newman thing and just overwhelm you. You know what I mean? And
They're not that coordinated, though, I don't think.
But so we're like, at the time, I remember being like, they're like, yeah, that you could take that way, and there was like another option. We're like, fuck yeah, alligator pit. We're all fucked up, and we just start fucking just inching across and like slipping and stuff, like just no sense of reality whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, there's one right there. Just all slip sliding across. Yeah, those places are fucking great, man. When there's
so
nobody
we're back
in
to
charge,
Jim
I
Morrison.
guess, like, yeah.
Whatever you guys did, you didn't get what you wanted, and now you've released a fucking nightmare scenario of just dopehead teens fucking around on farms all day.
I know. It
Good job.
It really is like a time-honored tradition at this point. You know what I mean?
But all right, you know what, guys? I am gonna call it.
Yeah, dude, I'm
quits.
fucking done.
I'm tired of shit, man.
Yeah.
Went a half hour over, whatever. I hope anyone here had fun with us tonight. I had this was a weird time. We got a bunch of other shit, but before we go, I'd just like to have everyone say goodbye to the Radioville Bird of Liberty. We'll see you next time
On Radioville with Tom and Vinny.
Population True.